Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the show today. Very happy to have you all here with us, and hopefully you've all had yourselves a really good weekend. For me, it's a bit of a gray day, but we do have a typhoon kind of moving in the area, so that kind of makes sense. Uh, I got a quarter cup of cold coffee. All right. Well, I'll have to deal with that later. But nevertheless, welcome. Let me go over here and hit that like and share button. Hopefully, you guys do the same. Let everybody know we're on and they come in and join us here. We're going to be getting into some, interesting news, pretty standard stuff. And for me, I have to give props to the Resolve because we know a lot of the wokeness and nonsense that has been, you know, pretty much irritating everybody here for years is not done, but there are certain people, or it's basically done. But I mean, there are certain people that are like, yeah, no, 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 we're good. We're going to keep doing that. We're going to talk about that a little bit today. Nevertheless, let's see here. All right, looks good. Excellent. I'll come over here and do this. Ignition, get tuned in. Thank you very much. There, I haven't seen you in a while. How are you doing? Let's see here. Welcome. There we go. So, all right, good. Yeah, no, it's been a while, dude. I haven't seen you in a long time. I don't know where you went to, actually. So nice you dropped in and said hello, hello. But we are going to be getting into a bunch of movie news, particularly about the ladies today. Usually mix it up quite a bit. But today, other than the first story, which we'll get to if anybody drops in here with me, I'm going to be talking about the ladies today and this ultimate desperation to either push the same narrative or make excuses for. Yeah, no, I know who you are, dude. Yeah, that's what I mean. I haven't seen you in a long, long, long time. Long time, dude. You jump in here and. Talk to me if you want. But we're going to be talking about that and some of the comments and the fact that they're just not backing up. But the good thing about it is the places that are still stuck in this woke DEI stuff, they are just kind of crumbling away financially. And we're seeing a lot of other people just kind of move forward doing their thing. And we're seeing a lot of success in the indie market. Now, we talked about this before, whereas Hollywood collapsed in the 70s. There was a big collapse. They had a big strike and they were spending way too much money on movies and just doing a lot of stuff people weren't interested in. Sound familiar? And of course, what happened was indie films popped up. A lot of the younger people might not realize that they're indie films because, now those people who made those indie things are the, creme de la creme. They've also become part of the problem, Steven Spielberg being one of them. But they came out, it was a big indie movement and it just exploded in the 70s, late 70s, into the 80s. It's just kind of they've become Hollywood now. And we're seeing similar problems, but we're also seeing the indie scene come up and really put a lot of stuff out. And we're going to be talking about one of those companies and today, and making a decision: are they actually a good thing or a bad thing? And we'll let you guys be the decision of that. Which ladies? Well, the standard villains of the era, Todd, and yeah. But it's just the same old stuff. I just thought it was really interesting that at this point they're still pushing the same nonsense. They haven't learned anything, and a lot of it this year is going to get noisier and noisier, of course, because this is an election year. We have them every 2 years, really, of course, with America. 4 years presidential, but with that, we're just going to get more and more noise because, well, politics, unfortunately. But we'll see how that goes. But there have been a couple of shiny lights, but this year so far is not, is not shaping up any better than the last two. when it comes to movies. And we talk about entertainment here. Last couple of years for entertainment have been atrocious. I mean, last year was wow, probably the worst we've ever seen, at least in our lives. But this year isn't really doing any better. There's a couple little things, just like the last couple of years, that have shown up, but it's been pretty dry. I'm really surprised how few movies are actually dropping every month. It's that in itself is interesting because we used to traditionally you'd see dozens of new movies come out in a month. Now we have so much going to streaming or other venue, straight to video type of thing, which it's still kind of going on in a way. It's just usually trying to be thrown on the streaming stuff now. That it's reduced it so much that what's going into theaters every week is like a handful of stuff at best. And it's interesting. It is what it is. People have been saying for years that cinema is dead because of streaming services, and fair enough. I think it has a little bit to do with the cinema, and it has a lot to do with Hollywood as well as what they're putting out. Because we've certainly got to the point now that you don't want to go to the theater unless it's some big budget spectacular, because you're spending huge money on your tickets. Uh, so, excuse me. So that's a big part of the problem. When I was younger, and of course, people older than me, like my parents' generation particularly, or even my grandparents, people go to movies for any kind of movie. It wasn't limited to, big, sci-fi or big CG spectacle, right? They would go for any little thing. Now, of course, they didn't really have any stuff like that on TV. TV was very restricted, which is much less so now. I'm kind of shocked with the FCC. They have really, really dropped their standards a lot. And some would say that's good. I'm not sure about that. However, movies used to be a major part of, living in the West, and other places in the world too. It's not just the West. Movies were something people went to do. They enjoyed themselves, amongst other things. These days, it's dropped precipitously. But we've also seen a lot of other things drop in the West. Of course, I know America more than anything, but people just aren't going out as much. They're not going out just generally to like parks or even out to eat or, anything. Going out and do some kind of recreation or, little stuff like when I was young, we used to go to the roller rink all the time and, putt putt. And, there's just a lot of things you go out in the world and do. And these days, people are just kind of staying home. Now, part of that, I suppose, as I've been told, is economic, which is interesting to me because like I've said, living here in Japan, the economics haven't changed at all. Hardly. I mean, literally, I don't know if we got 1.2% inflation, I guess. Something like that. I mean, we do have it, I suppose, but it's hardly noticeable. The only thing that's really gone up in price that's recognizable to anybody is rice. And that's because Japan imports a lot of their rice, which is ridiculous. And it's because we just don't have anyone doing farming anymore. And that's a huge problem. Farming is essential, and Japan, just like the rest of the world, we all picked up the British techniques and things for farming. The whole world is using the British techniques, and that's a good thing. So do the Japanese, and of course, once the Japanese get a hold of a technology, they tend to be very, very proficient at it. So they're good farmers actually, but they're just not doing it because the young people don't want to, don't want to do it. And being that we do have a socialist underbelly here, especially when it comes to jobs, the cradle to grave type of situation, you got a lot of jobs that you just don't need. And maybe this coming AI apocalypse, because it's going to replace a lot of people unless the powers that be say, nope, we ain't doing it. So you're going to have a lot of people lose jobs, and who's going to lose the largest percentage of jobs? Women, because AI doesn't have hands yet, right? So that's going to be a huge problem. But maybe one of the benefits of that might be to getting people back to farming, not just the ladies, but the men as well. Because we do need that here. I think that's one of the bigger weaknesses in Japan. They need to patch that hole. But nevertheless, I finally have my co-host in here. Hello, co-hosts.
Hola, senor.
I did a very good job covering for you.
Did you now?
I did.
Did you do a good job covering for me last week when I fell asleep?
No, yeah, it was all right. We figured we thought you were doing something else. But
No, I was exhausted. I crashed. All that driving, and then I only was on about 3 hours of sleep to begin with.
uh, yeah,
I was
yeah.
spent.
I had one of those weekends myself. I'm good now. I got a good night's sleep. We got Todd over here in the chat, by the way. Haven't
Oh,
seen
look who it is!
haven't seen Todd in forever, dude. He didn't even give me a kiss
Which,
goodnight. You know.
aww,
You know.
aww.
Hey, Grimlock, what's up, dude?
He didn't run his fingers through your hair and said, "See you
No,
later."
not even.
Oh,
But this weekend I had, of course, I had to work on Saturday anyway. But my
yeah.
daughter had stayed a week with my mother-in-law because my father-in-law's passed away. She was helping, and she's quite productive. She's raised in the Japanese way, so you know how that is. But
Sure.
very helpful to my mother-in-law, and she left on the Sunday with her husband, and so I kind of spent the weekend working and just interacting. Not much, pretty quiet. Ooh, the sun's coming out. Nice. But how was
Nice.
your weekend, Mr. Grimlock?
Quiet and rainy.
Quiet and rainy. Yeah, we got a typhoon in the area, so but this year's going to be real bad with typhoons, though. The El Nino is crazy hot this year. It's going to be a very, very bumpy ride in the Pacific, boy. I tell you what, it's frickin' May. You know. Well, I guess today technically it's the beginning of June, but it's May, and we have a typhoon already. Jesus,
Lovely.
and it's not even
Just
freaking. It's number
lovely.
6.
Number 6.
Yeah, it's going to be a bad year, dude. Bad, bad year. Now I don't know how
Not going to be
many.
fun.
No, I don't know how many will hit us, because we don't get it hit with all of them, obviously. Places like the Philippines tend to get hit with all of them, right?
Yeah.
And of course, it's going to end its trajectory somewhere into China, usually somewhere around Shanghai or stuff. They get hit a lot too. There's going to be a lot, and of course, with the pressure front of El Nino, you'll get some weird dry weather in America, oddly, right? It's kind of what it
Yeah.
causes. And then over in the Atlantic, it'll probably be a pretty quiet year for hurricanes. But then again, it's been that way for quite a while. That's funny. People always, every time a hurricane hits, oh my God, global warming. You do realize we are not getting hit with the amount of hurricanes we usually get. Like go back 100 years ago and have fun, enjoy yourself, right?
Hmm.
But they keep going
Well,
on
not only
about
that,
the end of the world. And it's like, Jesus, it's a good time to be in America right now, dude.
not only that, it is cool as a cucumber so far this year here anyway.
Sure.
And
Well, yeah,
today,
the El
Chester,
Nino, yeah,
almost June. June tomorrow, right? Well, June for you already.
yeah,
Um, 70 degrees. That's unusual.
that is
Usually we're in the
unusual.
80s by now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, sure. Yeah,
it
June,
was
yeah.
beautiful. I loved it. I loved every bit of it. Got some yard work did. Patched my fence up. Looks all ghetto, but at least there's not a big hole in it.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Good times. Good
Well,
times.
the stronger the El Nino, the more dry weather and cooler weather especially when you go east, you get. It is a
Yeah.
weird effect, El Nino. To be fair, I haven't studied it as much as I probably should have, so I could speak confidently on it. but it does have that effect. And I know they have like a El Nina, the girl version, but I forget what that does. I was assuming it would be the opposite, right? Cooler
You
water.
would think,
I
yep.
don't really know. I don't know. I'm not a
One would
meteorologist.
assume.
Although one of my childhood friends was a meteorologist. Of course, he's dead now, so I
Well,
can't
He
there.
gone.
insult him. He gone. Died in a car accident.
Happens to the best of us.
Yeah, well,
And the worst of us. It happens to all of us, in fact.
eventually, everybody does kind of perish in it. Yeah, he's one of my friends that died in a senseless way because it wasn't even his fault. You know, most of my friends, it was either the cancer got them or they did just being stupid. But
Yeah.
no, he died in a car accident, got hit, not just him, the drunk driver careened into him and like two or three other vehicles, caused a big mess. But of course, he died
Hopefully.
in it, and I think his wife survived. She was alive when it was all the news was coming to me, right?
Right.
So I'm assuming, she continued on. I'm not really sure. Poor thing though. They did have what, two kids? Two kids, I think. But
That's
that's
rough.
the world, man. Now I've seen a lot of it. The biggest funeral I ever went to, personally, because it was a church thing, was certainly over 20,000 people.
Whew.
And it was at the church. Now, to be fair, it was a fairly sizable church, but not like 20,000 people worth. It was like 1,000 people or something. But it was
Right.
just such a tragic thing in a smallish town where the mother and the daughter were driving in front of the dad and the son because they had to. It was Sunday, right after church, and she was taking her
Sure.
daughter to, I don't know, ballet or something for the girl. And once again, drunk driver at frickin' noon. At noon,
Excellent.
right? Church just got out, right? 12:30, right? And
Excellent.
killed them. And then, of course, just a huge shock to the community. Everyone came out to the funny. It's not funny. The irony. I don't think it's irony either. The interesting thing, she died
There you
right.
go.
She died right in front of the cemetery they were buried in.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Hey,
What's the largest funeral you guys have ever been to?
oh, that's a good question. I honestly don't even know, Chester. I didn't take attendance at any of
Well, I
them.
mean, I know it's 20,000 plus after the fact, right? But I'd
Yeah.
never seen such a mob at a funeral, though. I've been to a few young people, because when young people die, right, is when those things happen.
Sure.
I've been to a few of those where young people died and the attendance was huge, but that one was wow, dude. And I get it. We all, you get it, right? Because it was like, what the
Sure.
absolute hell, right? Sunday, church is just out on Sunday, and somebody's so drunk that they literally head on they were stopped at a red light, by the way. So there's nowhere they could have went, you know. I mean,
That
it
is.
just
That's.
wow.
Yeah, that's fucked.
It's majorly fucked. Majorly fucked. Yes.
I hope, and in fact, I've given explicit instructions that when I die, I don't want no funeral. I don't want none of it. If they were allowed, I'd be fine with them throwing me in the woods and just letting me rot. But they're not allowed. I don't care what you do with my dead body. I
Oh,
don't.
well,
I do not give a shit. It's such a weird custom to me that we care, that anybody cares. I've never understood. Like motherfuckers building giant temples to themselves and shit because they're dead.
that's
Like
right.
what the hell? I don't
Well,
understand that level of hubris. I don't. My
technically,
brain doesn't process it.
that's a different conversation you're having, but technically funerals are not for the dead, they're for the living. You
Don't
know.
tell them Egyptian fucks. They were real
Well,
into it.
no, I know, and there's a lot of yeah, I know, and there's a lot of other people who build monuments to themselves, and that's a
That's right.
conversation of why that's going on. Is it pure narcissism, or is it cultural stabilization, or there's a lot of arguments that would be brought in. Me, I'm just leaning into narcissism, to be fair. Although, to be honest, keep this in mind, a lot of those buildings that are being presented to you as mausoleums were not built for that purpose,
Correct.
right? They were absconded with, especially in
But
America.
even their tombs are obnoxious.
Yep.
Obnoxious, especially the Egyptians. Even today, I think even modern stuff is obnoxious. You have to, Chester, do you understand in America what you have to do to put a damn body in the ground? In the ground.
Yeah,
It's
it's a lot.
outrageous how much work goes into that.
Yeah.
And how expensive
Money.
it is. You got to get this special box, two special boxes actually, one that's made of concrete, and then the other that is just made of whatever wood or metal. There, it's a whole industry, and it's an industry built on the fact that people are just so arrogant they can't accept that they're gone, so we have to build memorials to them. I
Yeah,
don't
it is.
understand that.
Yeah.
I don't want people to come to my grave site. You know what I want for everybody alive after I'm dead? Forget me. Forget me entirely. Move on. Because I'm going to promise you, for most people, besides maybe my wife, that's what I'm going to do.
Oh,
Because there's
of
no point.
course.
What am I doing?
Yeah.
What am I doing here? What am I wallowing for? When my parents died, yeah, I was sad. Obviously, my parents are dead, but it's like, all right, what's being sad going to do?
So, Grimlock,
You can sit around and just be miserable for no reason.
Grimlock, should I mention or not mention that I actually built a mausoleum in Japan? I wonder.
This guy, he would.
It's very small, though.
Sounds like the most Chester thing I've ever heard.
But no. There's different. There's a different reason for it. Here they normally cremate, and I am
Yeah,
Scandinavian, but I'm not a Buddhist, and I don't want to go through that process. And the only way they'll let me is if I build that kind of thing. Now it's
right.
very small. It's not ostentatious at all. But it's a stone box with a stone box inside a stone box, right? That's
Excellent.
basically what it is, for me to be allowed to do it. So, because and the soil here, it's on a mountain though, but the soil is very porous here. I mean, we get it's a wet, moist climate, right? So it'd be more
Sure.
like what you've seen down in New Orleans, right? Those kind of things. Not so dry.
Nolans.
Yeah. But I had to. That
Oh, New Orleans.
I had no choice in it. The good thing is I have access to contractors, so I borrowed a
Yeah.
lot of heavy. Of course, now I have that equipment. But anyway, I borrowed a lot of that equipment and just kind of did most all of it myself. The exterior stone I had dressed by a professional, literally like 3, 4 miles from me, right? Not far
Nice.
at all.
Mhm.
They dressed. That was the most expensive part for me because I did most of the construction myself. The foundation, under foundation, I had laid by professionals though, so I kept the cost down quite a bit. But anyway, and it also will double because it is on the mountain in the cemetery. Their hakas are, they put the urns inside the stone. It's kind of like a mausoleum, like a standing mausoleum, very small for urns to go into. But
Right.
it is standing up there, so it can also function as my family's haka as well. So double duty it. Anyway,
Double dipped it.
so I understand with those kind of things, but I get what you're saying. Talk about like Grant's tomb and things like that. Yeah, but Grant's tomb wasn't built to be his tomb though. That was absolutely repurposed. A lot of things were.
Yeah.
um, because there was this culture which the Byzantines or Tartarians or whatever you want to call them, or maybe even something we don't even know about that we're building all over the place, and we just haven't been given the records for it.
Right.
And we don't know what the purpose of these buildings were. They were repurposed. We know that. But nevertheless, and I've seen a lot of people, serious people, not just the crazy conspiracy theory people, serious researchers that have looked into the world's fairs and
Yeah.
that were real crazy during the 19th century, right? And if you go back and look at those and see even today the skeleton of them, because they're still there, because they couldn't wipe it
Hmm.
off the map, they look like what they were, you know, train terminals.
Interesting.
And they've done a lot of research and look even on the ground. These people have gone to these places around the world, mostly in America, but other places too. And they've looked at them, and they've gone on the ground, looked at the satellite imagery, lidar, all that kind of stuff, and it really looks like they were, train terminuses, which shouldn't strike you as odd. The steam train's been around, a very long time, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, but that's a side conversation, isn't it? But anyway, Grimlock,
I want somebody. I want somebody of great intellect, a great creative mind, if you will, Chester.
Yes.
I want this person to create a story, and I'm sure there's one that already exists. In fact, I know there is.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see a new version of it, where if the ancient world, the Romans, and in their heyday, if they hadn't have rejected steam power, what they would have became, what they could have became. Because could you imagine if we had got the Industrial Revolution 1,800 years before we got it?
Yeah,
could have been crazy.
Well, that
could have been crazy.
Been made many times, and Grimlock, he's talking to me. I think that's what he's trying to say.
You should write it. It'd be good.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely someone who could write that. I don't know if he'd be.
I think it would be. I think it would be cool.
Though. It might be interesting academically, but I don't know how fun a read it would be. But I don't know.
That just depends on what kind of story you wanted to tell in that world. Like, you don't have to necessarily make it just about the politics. It could just be a personal story set in that world. What does the world look like with even more powerful Rome?
He's never met me before, ever, Grimlock. But no, I mean, and there are some people that argue that what you're saying, in fact, did happen, right? And that's what we're looking at, because, one of the bigger shocks to many of you might be that, and I think it's one of those things, is if you look at the world, what parts of the world does no one ever pay attention to? Well, Central Asia, right, is a big one. And, of course, South America. No one really pays attention to it. But if you go look in both those places, you can do it on your own. We have Google Earth. And you go to the cities, you'll find these gigantic Roman cities, dude. I mean, as in, like you go to Germany today, or you go to France or any of the European places and look at the old world stuff, right? That's all Roman, right? It's a later Roman, but it's still Roman. And you go to all those Central Asia places, all that South America, they're just gigantic old world cities everywhere, dude. And no one talks about it, right? Go look at Uruguay. Most people don't even know that's a country, right?
Right.
Go look at Uruguay. Just go to any random city and put yourself a man down in Google. And you'll be like, what? And I tell you why. Excuse me. And the Spanish didn't build that. I don't know if you know this, but the Spanish, they build in a very specific style. We can see, you guys probably yourself could recognize a Spanish architecture because it looks Spanish, right? And it's not even not as bad quality, because the Spanish can build. Ain't no problem. But if you go look at all that stuff ain't Spanish. That's Roman. It's German is what it is. Now in Argentina, you'd be like, oh, okay, I get it, right? Maybe. But in all those Spanish places, the Spanish building in Roman way and not in a Spanish way, what's that about?
Anyway, very curious, isn't it?
Very curious. A lot of interesting things to talk about. The problem is they keep annoying us and banging it on our freaking windows and doors, saying, pay attention to the politics. Women matter. No, fuck off.
Might count
right away.
If they mattered, when those government jobs went the way, they wouldn't be bitching about it, because they would have talent and skills to immediately find a job.
Well,
because talented and skilled people don't, if they lose a job, they don't stay unemployed for long.
Well, how else is a Democrat supposed to create jobs if not fake government ones? I mean, come on.
Oh, right away, Jesse. This guy right away has to bring it up.
Why?
That's pretty much what they do. They take all this. they take all this credit for being these big job creators, and you look at it, and all they did was just make more government jobs.
Yeah,
So
piece
it's
of
just
shit you
welfare.
didn't need.
It's just
Yeah,
more welfare, is all it is.
pour it on the taxpayer, right? But
Yep.
that's what they do. To be fair, Republicans are better than that. Now, in that regard. But the problem is, we know politicians are useless, and they've always been this way. But currently, I mean, sure, the Republicans, they got some toxic people amongst them too, but for the most part, they're just useless. I mean,
Yes.
in this past year, what has it been? A year and not even a half, a year and like 5 months or something like that.
Hmm.
What have the Republicans passed? The big beautiful bill. Anything else?
That's
No.
basically it. Besides shit that would have passed anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, that's it. It's pretty, so they're just useless. Now we all understand that the Democrats, especially in this current form, are really, really radically toxic. They're just toxic. And that's whole nother issue. You guys know how I feel about politicians. I'd say just get rid of them, all of them.
Mhm.
But the Democrats have always been kind of noisy and troublesome, but it's got real bad, dude. It's really, 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 really bad. And it's kind of a good segue. I'm not going to get into all of today's stuff, but I did want to bring up my first little story here, and talk about this because it's
One
perfect for
second.
this conversation. This guy's name
Let me look at it here.
is Graham Plattner. Now, this guy is a perfect example of how sideways the Democratic Party is, right? Now,
Yeah.
standing next to him, who's fighting the patriarchy, of course, is Bernie Sanders, who is a communist. He's not a
He is the
Democratic
patriarchy.
socialist, he's a communist, right? And of course, Graham Plattner is also a communist, okay? Now, that's political. Now, if you really want to know about this guy, he was a military guy fighting in the Iraq War, I think, or Afghanistan. And he is a full-on communist. I mean, just trust me, bro. I mean, it's not. He doesn't even hide it. It's kind of like Mamdani, right? Level
Yeah.
of insanity. But here's the thing: this guy has said all kind of horrible things about a lot of people, including women and his fellow soldiers, and unforgivable stuff. But he's in trouble for like sex scandals, Nazi tattoo scandals. I mean, all kind of scandals are just piling on. But Bernie
Oh
Sanders
yeah.
and all these Democrats are just, oh no, he said he was sorry. It's all good. We know how they actually feel about that. But the funny thing is they're willing to die on this guy, on this hill, for this guy. And if you go look at him and listen to anything he says, other than all the horrible shit I just told you, right? This is the
Yeah.
most obvious coke fueled pervert you've ever seen. Just take
Can't
5
do a little coke
seconds.
now, huh? Now he's a bad guy. Does a little coke.
Dude, this is a sex fiend. Just go listen to him speak just for a minute. You don't need to listen to the politics. This guy is so coked up. He's so perverted. There's so many videos of him just, wow, this is one of them's. This is a Bill Clinton
Right.
type, right? But he's nowhere near as smart as Bill, because give credit where credit's due. Bill Clinton was a smart cookie, dude, sharp.
Yeah. Yeah.
But pervert. Just he was probably
Yeah.
more alcohol fueled, to be honest with you. This is a cokehead and a pervert, but they're willing to die on that hill. That shows you where they are.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. No, it's very interesting. I want to say they've lost their mind, but then I remember who I'm talking about. No, they're just more masked off about it now. These people have been socialists and Marxists for ever, basically, since Reconstruction. They've been Marxists, and they haven't hit it. That's the thing, is they lie about it. They'll say to your face, no, we're not socialists, we're not this, that. But then everything they implement is just socialism, more and more socialism.
Yeah. And they say
more.
socialism. They try to soften.
Yeah.
But
and it's like, listen. Here's the problem with Karl Marx. There's many, but here's the main one. He's not wrong in his observations about the excesses of capitalism. He's completely correct. He's wrong in every other possible way a human being can be wrong about anything. He
Because
gets
he's an
one.
angry little, probably a cokehead at that
Envious,
time.
bitter, degenerate is what he was.
Major degenerate.
Living in a time where degeneracy was very heavily not tolerated and shamed
No.
heavily in publicly.
A spoiled kid from a well-off family.
He was.
Yes,
and
he was the Hassan Piker of his day. He was just smarter than
He
Piker.
was. And go listen to what his
Which is,
family had to say about him. They literally thought his family, right?
His
Literally
own
thought
blood.
Karl Marx was a demon. Literally.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Demon possessed.
Demon
But my
possessed.
point is, they've been riding this hog for a very, 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 very long time. For a very long time, the so-called Republicans were Marxists too. It was just a different branch of Marxist ideology. They were Trotskyists. They just didn't admit that.
Right.
The neocons. That's what they are.
They are Trotskyists, yeah.
They pretend they're not, but that's exactly what they are. They don't want small government. They want small government that can help you. Anything that might be good for the American person, yeah, they want that to be as small as possible because they don't want to help you. They want to oppress you.
Yeah.
But so do the Democrats, or at least the current establishment. But we have a new crop of Republicans who've come in, whether it's because of Trump or not. It's honestly predated Trump. He just kind of came in after when that crop betrayed the base. The Republican base has not largely changed in my lifetime.
No.
If you go back and listen to the 90s, you had Pat Buchanan and Newt Gingrich talking about basically the same things that Trump talks about.
Sure.
In various different ways. You had Ross Perot, who a lot of these people, a lot of people who voted for him were Republicans. Very similar things he was talking about as Trump talks about. So, and I was like a child, and I remember watching him on talking with freaking Al Gore. Like, oh my God, could you get an intellect disparity higher than Al Gore and Perot, a self-made billionaire, and this idiot? And it was embarrassing watching those two have conversations because they weren't really conversations. They were just an embarrassment. Not because of Perot, because Gore was and forever will be a retard.
He is a retard.
But regardless,
rich boy, elite boy, by the way, Al Gore.
Yes. My point is, the Republican base and the Republican voter largely has not changed. The only thing that has changed is Trump giving permission to be mean and not be afraid to be mean to their opponents, to the common everyday Democrat, and I welcome the shit out of that. America is a better place when we're all a little bit mean to each other, because the founding of this country, we have it so idealized. When the Democrats especially say things like, "Do you think the founders would like the way Trump talks?" Yeah, they all did. Every single one of them did.
It.
The only one who did it was George Washington, but he probably did in closed doors. But the rest of them, they were slinging, black, dark mud, that deep mud, that deep shit. The supporters for Jefferson and Adams were one was calling Adams a transvestite. That was a big propaganda campaign. And then Jefferson's boys were calling Adams a transvestite. And Adams's boys were saying that Jefferson was going to get all the black slaves to rape all the white women. Okay? That's where we were. This was number 2 and number 3. We're battling it out.
Well,
and that's where we're at.
Though.
Well, listen, I'm just saying that's what the propaganda was.
Yeah.
That move right there.
To be
fair, all the way back to the beginning.
Yeah. But to be fair, Trump is much more Jeffersonian than he is Adams. But he's nowhere near as smart, though, because Jefferson, wow. No, that was a true genius.
Jefferson was one of the smartest men to ever live. Yeah. He just was. He was brilliant.
He gets lost.
The foundation of America, as crass as a lot of it was, like look at Sam Adams, right? He's been deified too. That was a mean son of a bitch, Sam Adams. You didn't cross Sam Adams. Yeah. Because you wouldn't like what happened.
Well,
his cousin John was much nicer.
Well, look who the nicest one was. It was Ben Franklin, and he didn't go near politics.
No, he was just like, listen, the British are wrong. We need to get away from this. He tried to be very ambassadorial about it, and for the most part, he was. He stayed out of the muck.
He liked the French ladies.
he did like the French women, and you know what? Up until very recently, most people like French women, but they smell.
They do,
We have
but
we have
you
things
know,
to fix that now.
The revisionist history of, oh, you think the founders would accept language like that? And the founders was yanking niggas out of their house and whooping ass in the street for less.
Yes.
they were. They literally were. Mobs
Fuck,
showing up at people's
fuck
houses was the
language.
thing. Yeah,
Fuck language. When somebody politely comes and whoops your ass,
yeah,
do
yeah.
you not cussed out at that point when the whole village just saw you get dragged across the street?
Well, the
That
problem
was
is
more embarrassing than me.
that's true, but Hollywood has glazed the forming of America. They've glazed it incredibly so.
Yeah.
I know, but I mean, Chester, be honest. Which would you think is more embarrassing? Even back then, like if somebody cursed you out, or if somebody came to your house, dragged you out of your house, and literally beat the wig off of you in front of God and everybody.
that's right. It's true. It's true. But yeah, no,
I
it
mean,
was
nigga,
not
that
a
is
it was not a clean thing. But then again, lives were on the line, right?
Yeah.
It's you know
No, it was a rebellion.
it was, and people today complain about we're in danger. No, you ain't in danger, dumbass. You're in danger from yourself. Sure.
in
Yeah.
danger of what? The price of Starbucks going up again? That's what
Well,
you're in danger of?
that is the conversation I would like to get into. But before we get too far away from it, I'd like to tell you a story, Grimlock. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Story time.
Now, story time, and I do believe the time that I can be prosecuted on this is well past, so I can tell the story now. Um,
All right, this is going to be good if it starts with that kind of fucking disclaimer.
yeah, I was very young, and still at university, and in the summer that I wasn't going off doing
It's
stuff, I'd
good.
work, and I worked for one of my friend's
Okay, here.
uncles. Now,
You came,
uh,
she's in here.
these guys were basically in a vending company, Grimlock. And what they mainly were doing was they were cleaning money for the mafia. Okay, is what they were doing.
Yeah.
Now, my job for the most part with them was literally because I'm a big, strong boy, right? Was literally, taking and replacing vending machines, repairing them, or loading vending machines, the muscle of it, right? Had big trucks,
Mhm.
we'd go around and do that. That's what I did normally, and I got paid for it. But occasionally we would drop off stacks of cases of sodas at political places, and I didn't see it, but because they wrap them in plastic, but I know that somewhere in that stack was an envelope full of money, right? Or something else. So I knew, but I wasn't directly involved. However, there was one moment that I was directly involved, kind of. And he told me and my buddy, which I will not name, that, of course, this whole family did fall down. They all got arrested and went to jail, by the way. My mother even sent me a newspaper clipping. Yay. But
Nice.
anyway, yeah, nice. But he and I, we were told to take, now, this is a state representative, not a federal one, but same
Yeah.
thing, right? To take care of him, right? Look after him for a weekend. I don't know why it was only a single weekend, but for some reason we needed to take care of him, so we did, and we drove him around. Now, would you guys like to guess what I spent pretty much all my time doing that weekend with this politician in the back of a Lincoln?
Drinking.
No, well, there was a lot of that, but no. Going around hunting for cocaine, okay,
Excellent.
one, and whores.
You're joking around the rock, so
Yep. Going around, and I gotta be, I tell you, I was impressed because that guy could put I don't forget how much we bought, but there were thousands of dollars involved. And the amount of coke that guy could do was impressive. It was impressive. And of course, I'm not a coke guy, right? It's not my thing, right? But that and whores. A whole damn weekend, this guy being just coked off his ass and banging whores. And my friend and I are
whores.
driving around in Lincoln, all around Providence, finding and facilitating this for him. So, yeah,
Excellent. What a weekend.
yeah.
What a time.
Well, it wasn't a very good time for me.
Well, he was having a blast.
He was. And I have no idea what that little blip was,
He
but
probably remembered none of it.
he probably didn't. But I'm just saying, this was an elected politician. And actually, at that time, he was going through a re-election campaign at that moment. So I don't. This is just my little bit of insight into my touching the political sphere. And I have. There were many little times we dropped things off at businesses, political, offices, etc., etc. And I know right well I was dropping off money. For all I know, I could have been dropping off drugs. Probably not though. But more than likely, it was just money, payoffs, or just laundered money movement, or what have you. And the places I went and dropped off these stacks of cases of a whole hand truck worth. Right, we drop them off each time it was wrapped up, which we never wrapped them, but by the way, but they were always wrapped, and you lean them over and get them on the hand truck, and they had on top a paper where we had to drop them, right? And this is my experience with politics. Wow, wow,
Yeah.
you know, it's
All the
just
places you go when laundering money. Dr. Seuss book.
a Dr. Seuss book, yeah. But it's just and I don't think that's an abnormal thing. I have a feeling that, and because we know inside Washington, within the Congress, there's a lot of cocaine going on, right? There's a lot of alcoholism going on, and I guarantee you there's a lot of whoring going on because, like with the Epstein thing, for the most part, because all the evidence we've seen, right, is they were just going and partying. And yeah, there were some girls that are a bit young, but we have no evidence of the actual, children. That's not what we have. We have evidence of 16, 17, 18, 19, 20-year olds, right? Being
Yeah.
brought in for sex, drinking, alcohol parties, right? Drug parties. That's what they were doing. It's the same thing that they get up to all over the place, right?
We have
Um,
this weird. It's funny because I was talking about this with my wife a little bit, and my cousin when we were on our little walk. It's weird how obsessed the West, especially America, it's mostly America, is with the 18-year-old number because it's
yeah,
completely arbitrary.
it
There's no
is.
data to back it up. If anything, if you wanted to make it scientific, it'd be 25 would be when you're legally an adult. But they don't want that because we got wars to fight and things.
Well, are you talking
But
about the right to vote or right the age of consent? Those are two separate
well,
things.
I'm saying if we were being scientific with it, and you have to be an adult to give, because this is what they say, right? This is law. You have to be an adult to give consent, right, under the law.
Okay.
Okay. Well, technically, you're not. Your brain isn't adult until you're 25 or around that roundabout.
Right. Fair
Not at
enough.
18.
Not fair enough.
Not at 16. Not at whatever. Not 21. Where drinking age in America. 25 is the number.
Yep.
And now, personally, I think that's outrageous and preposterous to tell people they're not fully an adult until then. Their brain isn't fully formed. But that's what these people will tell you. Their argument is that, yeah, okay, they're 16, 17 years old. They couldn't possibly have given informed consent to this. I remember 16, 17-year-old girls, and every single one of them I knew was either trying to or was sleeping with a guy in his 20s or 30s. All of them.
Absolutely.
It was without
They
question.
all were, yeah. But yeah,
And
no,
they were
no,
doing
I
it
agree.
very, very, very happily and very willingly. It wasn't that nobody was being coerced or tricked. I'm not saying that doesn't happen. Of course it does. But that's not what happens in most of those situations. Actually, in a lot of those situations, it's the other way around. The
It is.
teen girl is the one who's the aggressor, we'll call it.
Yeah.
The initiator.
Because she wants
Uh,
shiny shit. That's why.
yeah. She
And
wants a little bit of
them
dad
guys
energy.
can't give
That's
it to
all.
her. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But
my point that I'm getting at is you're saying, most of them are like 16, 17 years old. a lot of people in the West, they hear that and they immediately recoil because, oh, that's just a little child, little baby. I'm like, no, it isn't.
No, it isn't.
Stop it. First of all, when I was 16, I knew I wanted to have sex. I was fully cognizant of this desire.
Younger than that, sir.
Yes.
No, around as far as consent, because there's two separate conversations, in my opinion, right? Consent,
Yes, I agree.
around the world, the average is 16. Pretty much everywhere it's 16, and it makes sense, right? Because you can have a baby at that age as safely as you can at 30, right? Matter of fact,
Yes.
probably more safe than 30, say 25. But that's just that aside. I'm talking more politically. And for me personally, I think the age should be 30. That's what I think.
30 years old for the franchise.
30 years old to have the right to vote. Now, me personally, I'd be more strict with it. You have to be 30, you have to be married, you have to have kids, and
Yes.
Then you have to take a test.
I think, and personally, Chester, I don't know how many kids you want them to have. I think they should have at least 3. And the reason, and that would exclude me. That would exclude me entirely. I don't have any children.
Yeah.
Don't want any children. I'm out.
Well,
the reason why is because, one, you've contributed to the gene pool, to society on a very basic kernel level, and added plus 0.5 to it. So you've done your job as far as like a basic human being, right? But you also have a lot of skin in the game. You have skin in the game. Now it matters a little bit what you do, what you don't do. One of the things that, like in Starship Troopers, for instance, right, they have the citizenship is earned through service. Now, a lot of people watch the movie or even read the book, and they'll come away with the idea that it has to be military service, but that's never actually said. It just says service, federal service.
That's right.
I think that's completely reasonable. I think anybody who fights in a foreign war should get fast-tracked to it if they want it. But other than that, everybody else, all your normal people, your non-soldiers like us, the only way in is skin in the game. I think if let's say you can't have children for some reason, you're just genuinely infertile, then the alternative would be either join the military and hope for a war. I don't know, or you have to own a company that you own domestically, that operates domestically, that you operate with 10 or more full-time employees, and then you can apply for the franchise and take the test.
Grimlock. A lot of people are out.
In the game.
Yeah.
Is the point.
Fine with it, he says. Well, we're putting a lot of caveats. The founders, well, even not them, just other European places, theirs was much simpler. If you're a landowner, you get a vote. And each land gets 1 vote. And it tended to be the patriarch, the grandpa, or the dad, but not always. This nonsense where they keep saying that only men, that's not true. That is not true.
Correct.
During that period where the landowners got the vote, there were many, many women who voted, actually.
Yep.
Right? Because their husbands had passed away, or their husbands weren't interested in that nonsense, and she's the one that went down to the polling and put her vote in. Of course, it was done a little bit differently back then because there were less people, right? So this nonsense that women didn't get to vote until suffrage is bullshit. Complete bullshit, right? Because there was no caveat, even though Democrats will tell you otherwise, there was no caveat as to the gender of the person. Each each property had 1 vote. That's it. That was the rule.
That's right.
And it worked. It worked really well. And then the men who were fighting in wars, I think it was after it was with Teddy Roosevelt, right? Wasn't it after the Spanish-American War that the men were demanding the right to vote? And if I might be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure Teddy was a champion of that, wasn't he?
I believe you're correct, but that was largely because he was such a soldier himself, right? He was of that ilk.
He was.
So I think he resonated with their desire.
Sure. But whatever. Then men were given the right to vote if they took the draft. Okay, fine. Right.
Right.
Whenever that happened, I'm not sure.
What a raw deal.
But that was the deal.
A raw deal the men get now. We still have to do it. Yeah. Sign up for the selective services, but everybody else gets it too for nothing. Right. Wait a minute.
But it was a mistake, though. They shouldn't have done that, right? but they
I
did
agree.
do that, and that is what opened the door for women's suffrage. Because now, because they changed it, now truthfully only men could vote. Actually, in that very narrow window. Because keep in mind,
Right.
women's suffrage, they got the vote as soon as they started making noise about it. Men were like, okay, here, right? They
Pretty
try to
much, yeah.
make like they fought hard for the women's vote. No, you didn't. Men got it. You got cut out, and then you started bitching about it, and men gave it to you instantly, as usual, right?
And
So,
immediately within 20 years, you instituted socialism. Good job, ladies. Thanks.
oh yeah, it was socialism
Thanks,
and
ladies.
and prohibition came in pretty quick too.
Yeah, well, isn't that weird? Isn't that strange that right after the women got the vote, prohibition became a whole deal, a whole big thing?
Yeah.
Huh.
Speaking
Funny
of
that.
speaking of that, just as an aside, if I might, just as an aside, let me go pick this up real quick. Let's see here. Spider Man Noir.
Oh.
Okay,
Oh yeah.
now
When's that? Is that out yet? When's that out? Yeah.
I watched it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, my mouse has decided not to be anymore. Huh. Weird.
Excellent.
My mouse is no longer working. What happened? Well, anyway, Spider-Man Noir, the TV show. I watched all 8 episodes, and because it is during
Excellent.
the Prohibition and Depression era in New York City, as it should be. It's where the comic book was.
Noir.
And wow, my mouse really is just done. All right. Well, let me.
It's just done with you.
Yeah, I'll come back in a second. I'll put some coffee on too. You guys talk about Spider-Man Noir for a second. I'll be back in a minute.
Well, I'd love to. I haven't seen it yet. I didn't know it was out yet. I forgot it was. I actually. May has just been a blur. It still feels like the beginning of May, and this is it. This is the end. We're at the Dunzo part. Did you watch it?
I knew it was out, but I forgot about it. I got distracted with other shit.
I think it's getting watched probably now. I'll ask the wife if she wants to watch it. She might. I don't know. If she does, I'll watch it with her. If not, then yeah, I know it's going to be getting watched. I hope it's good. Chester didn't give me anything there. He didn't give me any energy one way or the other. It was very full of
Nigga.
him. No, I hope it's good. Nick Cage, when Nick Cage is locked in, man, he's great. He just genuinely is. He's extremely entertaining. He can do the actiony stuff. He's a little older now, obviously, but he can do it. I just hope it's good. I love the idea of it. I've always loved the idea of Spider-Man Noir. It's first of all, noir is great in general. If you've never seen, if you're listening to this, you haven't seen any actual proper noir stuff back in the 40s and 50s and what have you, you'll watch it. You'll love it. I promise you, you'll find at least one or two that, because it's one of those genres that's very versatile. You can do a little bit of everything with it. You can have mystery, you can have horror, you can have all kinds of stuff. I mean, you have Spider-Man right here. You have superhero and noir. So it's one of those genres that has that broad stroke because it's based almost entirely off of a very specific style of telling a story, less so about the intricacies of what the story does, if that makes sense. So like it's not horror because it's not just about trying to make you feel afraid, but it can be. It very well can be. Some of the best noir stuff has a lot of horror elements in it. In fact. So that's one of the great things about noir is how versatile it is. So I'm hoping, Chester, like I said, I completely forgot that it was already out.
Yeah.
I completely forgot it was the end of May. Till earlier today, I was like, holy shit, it is the end of May.
It is. And
I'm gonna be honest. Maybe I missed it, but I didn't see any advertisements. About it coming out in the weeks up to, because
all right.
I see fucking ads for bullshit, but you would think, especially being on Amazon, but I didn't see any.
Well, I did see some, but you're right. It wasn't. I mean, but this is pretty low budget. I mean, it's not like B movie, but low budget, but it's pretty low, which is great because that means it's not expensive for them to make it. Now, I don't know what kind of reception it's gotten because I haven't checked into that yet. But I can guess. I watched all 8 episodes. Now, personally, I loved it. Now, I'm a Nick Cage fan, and this is a perfect vehicle for Nick, and he is on spot, dude. He is full on the Nick we love. It's
Excellent.
it's just many times he reminds you why we love Nick Cage. He's such a good actor. And everybody in it does a good job. There's no one dropped the ball in this.
Right.
Now, I cannot not compare this to Penguin, right? Because Penguin is noir as well in a way, right? Penguin is a whole nother level of thing. But then again, Penguin is some of the best TV we've ever gotten. Let's be
Ever in
fair.
the history,
Right.
in the 100 years of television.
This is not that, but what this is great fun TV.
I like that.
It's I didn't they didn't miss a beat. It's exactly what it should be, and it's very noir. Now here's I'm not going to give any spoilers whatsoever. You guys go watch it. But
Yeah.
this is the comment I'll make about how well it's going to do. People my age, your age, are going to love it. It's just good,
Yeah.
fun, heartwarming, noir film, and they really try hard to keep it inside that venue. By the way, they try real hard, and Nick is having a ball. However, because it is noir and it is a drama, it's just not an action, right? Penguin, matter of fact,
Mhm.
had a lots of action in it if you think about it, right?
Yeah.
This is not an action. It's got a few things in it, of course, because it is Spider-Man. He's got to fight a bad guy. But this is a noir detective story, as it should be. And I
Right.
loved it. But the pacing of a noir detective story is, well, I would say the correct pacing. But you know how young people are. If it didn't bang,
Yes.
bang, boom, boom every 2.5 minutes, they lose interest. So I would say the younger generation is going to think it's boring and not care about it. For the older generation, especially generation or anybody who loves noir, I think they're going to enjoy it. It's got great pacing,
Interesting.
a great mood, lots of fun, and it's really not woke. Now, they do have one of every color. So, there's that. It is Sony. But then again, it is
And
in
I'll
New
say
York,
this real quick.
though. Yeah.
Exactly. It's in New York, and New York has always been a very
Yeah.
multi-ethnic city, at least for the
Yeah.
last
Got your
fucking
back, sir.
120 years. Uh, and noir has that anyway. If you go watch a lot of the old noir stuff, it was doing that before they made it a point to do it. It was just it helps spice up the what's the word I'm looking for, the vibe a little bit, right? You introduce a black singer, right? Especially back in the day, or you go into where the Chinese live, and they're all basically dressed the same. They're all decked out. That's how people dress, and it adds a little bit of a layer to it. Depending on what you're doing, of course, but especially if you're doing a detective show where you have a guy who's trying to, I don't know what the storyline is. I have no idea, but I'm assuming some nonsense is going on, some chicanery, if you will, Grimlock, chicanery. And Spider-Man is out here trying to investigate, and he goes to the neighborhoods and finds them, and that's probably what happens because
Yeah.
a lot of the modern libs, they want to pretend that the world doesn't, the people don't self-segregate. That when given the choice, they won't automatically just go with their people.
Yeah, no,
They
it
will.
definitely has that. It definitely has that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And
So, and it
yeah,
fits in noir because noir always, like a lot of the best noir movies, there's plenty of other races in it. It's not just a bunch of
sure.
white people. There's all sorts of just doing whatever.
Yeah, it didn't it
So I
didn't
think
yeah. It didn't bother me at
I
all.
think it won't be out of place. Is my
Yeah,
point.
it didn't bother me at all. But I just mention it because it is there. The only thing that's a little off is there are black people in it, but it's New York. It's perfectly appropriate at that time. They
Yeah,
did a little bit of race swapping, but once again, okay, fine. And they didn't change the names, but they had several Asians showing up. Now, and they
yeah,
didn't change their name. They just left them with the white people name, which is interesting tactic. Um, they didn't give them Chen or Lee or anything like that. They just, Kat Harlow, she's in it if you watch the trailer, right? And, Black
Right.
Cat. And they made her an Asian lady, a Chinese lady. And she's not really pretty, but she grows on you though. So,
Interesting. Does
but
she have any sex appeal?
she have any what?
Sex appeal.
She's not pretty, dude. No.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean she can't have sex appeal. She could maybe the way
No,
she moves, or the way she talks, or
maybe a little. But
Gotcha.
she does what she's supposed to do well, though.
Yeah.
Right? She's fine. I'm
Well,
not
that's my
complaining about her at
main
all.
concern with, like, say, if Disney puts Black Cat in one of these Spider-Man movies. They're not going to do it. They're not going to make her Black Cat. She's not going to be a sexy. She's not going to be perfectly fine with her sexuality. It's not.
Oh no, this
Or
lady.
she will be, and she'll be ugly, right?
No,
She'll be an uggo.
This lady is happy to use her sexuality, no problem. Yeah, no problem.
Okay,
Um,
good.
but yeah, this mouse is dead. I'm gonna have to fix that. I got another one though. But yeah, no, she's mm-mm, yeah. But I'm not complaining though. Don't misunderstand it. She did fine. It's just odd that you do have more Asians in this than you would expect, but they didn't give them Asian names. They left them as the white people names, which is, like I said, an interesting tactic. But that's the only slightly odd thing, because we know with Asians in New York, yeah, there are plenty of them, but you never see them. Now, I live, and Grimlock and
Mm.
I both know we live in New York. The Chinese, they stay to themselves, boy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's what I was wondering. Is he going around to the individual neighborhoods,
He
and
did.
that's why
He
we're
did
running
go to
into him?
Chinatown. No, they were not in Chinatown. But
Interesting. I wonder why not.
well, he might in the future. Like I said, I hope we get a lot more of this. I would be happy as hell if Nicolas Cage end his career doing 10, 15 seasons of this. I'd be happy because as
He
this is
seems
not
to
getting.
enjoy it.
Well, yeah, and he's the producer of it, by the way, right?
Hmm.
And
Well, remember, he is a Coppola.
he is,
It's in his blood. That
but
old school Hollywood.
that's true, and he obviously adores it. And this is season one, and we know season one is never the best you get. Usually, around season 3, 4, or 5 is where you get the good stuff, right?
Right.
And this was great. I loved it. Like I said, for younger people, it might not hit, but it's not high budget either. So I hope it gets more. I really, really want more.
One
I
of the good things about streaming is it doesn't have to anymore. Right? For something to be a success nowadays, because everybody has Amazon, right? Like everybody,
right,
or just about. For now, they can really niche down. Especially now that they're starting to get the budgets back under control. Like, I don't know if you plan on talking about it, but that Obsession movie that came out, not even $1 million budget, and it's making hundreds of millions of dollars.
yeah, we're going to talk about it later. Yeah,
That's impressive, and that's going to be the norm going forward. These massive, we've been saying it for years, they're laundering money, but that's what they operate like. These massive money laundering operations they call movies. That I think that's largely done. I mean, look what just happened with Star Wars. It's done. It's
well,
done. It's
and
not. That's not going to be a thing anymore going forward.
well, Trump and his government are just banging at those doors anyway, right?
Good.
And ending that, which I agree. But you know, I would suggest that everyone go watch this. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I had a great old time. It's not Penguin level. It's not. But it's surprisingly heartwarming, oddly enough, even
Yeah.
though it's a noir. And it does really good job. And by the way, I haven't seen it in color yet, but don't even bother. Watch it in black and white because
Don't
that's
even
what
watch in color.
no, I mean, there are a couple of scenes with the superpower fights that the color would probably be better. But otherwise,
Right.
you want this in black and white, dude. It was built for that. And it looks wonderful. Wonderful. They did such a good job with set dressing. And I can tell in the background there's a lot of CG or matte paintings, or at least maybe CG matte paintings. There's a lot of that. But with the black and
Right.
white, it blends it better, and it's very hard to
Hmm.
tell, right? And I don't know, I really enjoyed it. Now, of course, I love old school noir stuff. I love that old school stuff. I like Nick Cage. I enjoy his, and this is the perfect Nick Cage that you love, right? He's
Right.
he's clearly having a ball. He's having a good old time. He's sober, even though his character often isn't, but he clearly is sober. Um, and yeah, it's just really good fun. And they laid out the story. They stuck to the comic fairly well.
Good.
They took liberties, but they stuck fairly well. They stuck a lot of little Easter eggs in there that I recognize. I'm a nerd though. Um, and my wife loved it too. She had a good time with it.
I'll have to
So
ask my wife if she wants to watch it, if she's interested or not. She's probably not, but if she is, I'll watch it with her. If
it's
not,
it's a
then that's
detective
probably what I'm going to be doing tonight.
it's a detective drama, dude. That's what
Huh.
it is. It's not. I mean, It's Spider-Man in there, and it's all about Spider-Man or the Spider. But yeah, it's an old Mike Hammer. Is what it is. It's
Right.
Nick Cage as Mike Hammer. That's what it is.
Excellent.
It's awesome. You didn't realize you
I
needed that until you see it.
I would love for a resurgence of get a neo noir resurgence. That would be great. I think it's
Yeah, you've said
perfect
that
for a
before.
streaming short serial series. I think it's a perfect format for it. Um, we have these shorter seasons that are only 8, 10 episodes, whatever, which I still think is outrageous if they're that short, but whatever. Um, but for something like Noir, I think it's about the right length. I think that's about perfect.
Yeah,
Because one of the great things about Noir when it's done well is it should leave you wanting to know a whole lot more about the. It shouldn't answer all your questions.
no,
It should answer the
no,
questions that it directly asks,
yeah,
like all good storytelling does. But other than that, it should leave you with so many unanswered things about the character, the world, whatever. And if it does that, as it should, I think that's perfect for a modern series. I just do. I think it's a perfect.
yeah,
I think it's a match made in heaven. And if this is the one that makes Hollywood or whoever realize it, I think you'd be seeing some really good noir stuff. Like imagine the
yeah.
people who made Penguin getting noir and getting all the way into it and giving you some awesome detective story with that level of detail, that level of
Right.
character work, that level
Well,
of commitment.
I mean, Penguin is noir. I mean, it is. It's just
It's very
not.
similar, yeah.
It's just not detective driven. But it's very noir-esque. But
Yes.
they tried real hard to stick this in noir. It works really, really well. I know a lot of people were worrying about Nick Cage being too old. No, no, no. It's perfect. It's perfect. It's exactly what you want. They laid it out very well. And that's the reason why I enjoyed it so much because they actually told a story. They gave you
Right.
all the information you needed, and as you said, they left things out as they should going into the future.
Yes.
But no, that we understand who he is, why he's there, what he's doing, where he's at. It makes perfect sense. Nothing is dangling. Nothing is, bothersome. I didn't even have any of those stupid things where the car's driving and they hit the brakes on dirt and you hear concrete screeching. None of that even, right? It was really done well. The black guy who was playing the reporter at the Bugle, wink wink, uh, Robinson, he was great. I loved him in that role. He's a really good sidekick and friend. His secretary Janet, who is like I said, she has an Asian name. I mean, a white lady name, but it's a big kind of fat Asian lady. She's actually a little bit
Right.
too chunky for that period. This is in 1933 during the Depression. And they lean into that. And the reason why I brought this up now is because we were talking about prohibition, right? And that's a plays a big part plays a big part in this story. It's
Right.
all about that, really, in the end. And it's during the Depression, as it should be. They show and mention Hooverville and all of that kind of stuff. They did a really wonderful job. It's great fun. It's more like a TV show, not CW. I mean, old classic TV shows, right?
Right.
It's not Penguin. And I keep stressing that, but I think it's important people understand it's not Penguin. But I really enjoyed it. And Grimlock, is this kind
Good.
of thing interest you at all, or you just don't care about this stuff?
Oh no, I'm actually glad that this was done well. I have the Spider-Man Noir comics.
Oh, I love those, dude.
Um, One of my favorite Spider-Man games was Shattered Dimensions, where you could play as Spider-Man Noir. I hope that the success of this show maybe gets some asshole over at Microsoft and Activision to see if maybe they can get, the dickheads at Marvel to relicense this and, put that back out, into the world, because that was one of the best Spider-Man games. If you've never played it, it
Yeah,
it really did a good job of taking four different types and making them feel unique, making the world feel unique.
yeah.
It was a great job done all the way around, and
I
yeah,
love Spider-Man Noir, dude. I love it. And depending, Grimlock, on how this is received overall, I don't know. I'm going to have to check into it this week because it just came out, right? Um, and but if it gets a big enough reception, well, one, we're going to get more of this, and I want more of this, right? But we might, oh, because this is Sony Pictures. There's no Disney involved at all, right? It's just Sony. However, if this takes, what we might get is some of the other noir from Disney. And, who knows, it's a crapshoot if that'll be any good. But, because there were several noir books. One that I enjoyed was Howard Stark in Iron Man Noir. That was really well done. It was interesting. Um, and I'd like to see that. There's plenty of noir stuff I'd like to see. But definitely more of this, please. But yeah, oh Nick, man, you gotta love Nick, and because he's the producer, right? And that's why. But they allowed Nick to be Nick, and that's the way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, let Nick be Nick, and this role work because he is Spider. He is the Spider, but not really. He is he is Ben Riley. And by the way, they do give a hint in there that he changed his name. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh.
One little offhand comment, and I was like, "Hi, guys, I see you, I see you." Anyway, um, he's mainly Ben Riley, the detective, and he's Nick. I never realized how perfect Nick Cage would be as a noir detective, but he's perfect because what is a noir? I mean, what is it? Right? It's gritty, right? It's well, what the hell is that? Stop doing that. It's gritty. It's going to be crime. It's going to be a crime story, but it's going to have danger and violence in it, and this has plenty of that. But what's the main thing? You have a tough guy who's very cynical, and it's a bleak setting, right? That's
Right.
noir, right? And Nick Cage is that you just put his picture next to it, right? I mean, he's perfect for it. I
Yeah.
never realized how perfect he actually is for that. Um, and yeah, you got to go see it. I think you guys will really have a good time with it. And just enjoy. And I want more. I want more now.
Give it to me. Give it to me.
I don't
That's
want to.
Chester
I
right
don't
now.
want to wait. Give me more. Because it's only 8 episodes. Because it's clearly a test, and they told a simple little story. Once again, as you should. It's a
Right.
simple little story. And of course, what did they do? They went and got Colin Farrell's sidekick, Gleason, right? He's the
Hmm.
other Irish actor everyone knows, right? That amazing actor to play Silvermane. And he's awesome. Of course, you know, he's a great actor. So another connection to Penguin because Colin Farrell, of course, played Penguin, and Gleason, of course, is playing Silvermane, and an amazing actor. Such a great choice. And you got Nick Cage up in there, and everybody else did a really good job. I have no complaints about anything. There were a couple kind of muscle heads that are a bit stilted, but they were smart because they kept their dialogue small, right?
Right.
So it worked out really well. Yeah, I think it's great. I can't wait to see more. So
Mhm.
More,
and
more, more.
and it has horror elements in it. It has the creepy body horror stuff in it. It's nice, dude. At first, I was a bit worried from the trailers about how they were handling the superpowers with Sandman and I guess he's Rhino. They don't really say because I didn't recognize the name, and of course Electro or Megawatt they were calling him. But the I was a little concerned how they were handling it, but they explained it very well how this happened and why this happened. And by the end of it, you're like, yeah, yeah, that works. It's kind of like the
Right.
Asian lady playing Kat Harlow, right? She, when you first see her, because they're really trying to sell her as this super sexy beauty thing, it's like, not really. Keep in mind, I am the yellow fever boy. That's me,
He is. It's
right?
a whole problem with
It
this guy.
is a
It's
big
a
problem.
big
Um,
situation.
but she grows on you because she does a pretty good job in the role, you know. And it's a typical noir chick, by the way. It's exactly what it should be.
Sure.
It's cliche almost, but I love it. So anyway, that's what I got for that. Go see it.
Cool.
Yeah,
That's it. That's all he's got, folks.
that's it. But let me jump in and we'll take a look at some of the other stuff if you'd like. But yeah, nice. Now, of course, we talked about this cokehead here, and we see the Democrats do a lot of dumb things, but is this really the hill you guys want to die on with this guy? This guy, Nazi guy. Now, I'm not really surprised because I mean the Nazis were socialists. I mean, the Democrats are that's their party, right? But then again,
Yeah.
recently they've been screaming about Jim Crow 2.0, and it's like, do you sure you want to mention that? Are you sure?
Yeah,
You
because they
know,
are so propagandist. People that are
well,
confident in their stupidity.
yeah, but I mean, Jim Crow is a democratic thing. They created Jim Crow, right? They created the KKK. They created redlining. They created civil rights and welfare. And then people say, oh, it's a good thing. Fuck, it is. That absolutely, they finally got the black people, dude. They were after them for a long time. But when they got that civil rights things in there, and then of course welfare on top of it, they got them. Boy, they got them. They got them blackies because they don't like them. We know they don't, right? They gutted them. And people are still defending civil rights and welfare today, even though we can see very clearly what it did to the black community and others, but just obliterated the black community. And they finally got them. It took all that work, Grimlock, to get those black peoples, and they finally
That they're
got them.
more concerned about how things look and sound than rather what it actually does.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, Democrats are the worst. The bad, every bad thing that's happened to black people in America is coming out of the Democrats. Everything, and they seem to forget. People keep forgetting the Republican Party was created in 1850, literally to stop the spread of slavery and to abolish it. That was their
That's right.
actual thing. Now we know the Civil War was about many things, but particularly, taxation without representation from as far as the South was concerned, right? Which is the same thing we had a revolution over. But the Republican Party, created in 1850, was specifically created to stop the spread of slavery and to abolish it. That was their mantra. And here we are. And of course, they all say, oh, Lincoln freed the slaves. Yeah, he's a Republican. But anyway, they're
Kind of what they were
dumbasses.
for.
Yeah, but I mean, they're just dumbasses. I don't know. Me personally, I wish we'd have like 5, 6, 10, 12 political parties like the rest of the world has. Because what happens with that is one group or another might get a little more popular, get more votes, but it's very rare that they take the government wholly. They have to go make coalitions. And what does coalitions mean? It means you have to compromise and come to deals with each other, right? Now, we do know that the big problem in Europe is the coalitions that are being formed are all, socialist ones. So there is a threat of that. But I don't know because this two-party system is just annoying. But nevertheless, you guys go ahead and you support this senator for Maine. And make sure you get him plenty of cocaine because I don't think he can go more than a few hours without it. Right? I mean, let's go watch one interview with this guy. Just go watch him, and you can see the cocaine all over him. This guy is fueled. And he's clearly a pervert, too. He's one of those coke guys that just literally likes to grab him by the pussy. That guy. That's this guy. Right? Whatever. Moving on. But I do love how they don't care about that when it's their guy, right? Anyway, this I thought was interesting before I get into the girls stuff. Go ahead. Somebody read it.
Wait, hold on. Come on, Discord. Jason Blum wants Blumhouse to be Disney of horror.
Now,
The Disney of horror.
yeah, I mean, he wants to kind of dominate that like Disney does princess movies, I guess. Now, I don't know if I chose Disney. I would, because Disney's kind of, don't bring them up, don't mention that. But I get what he's trying to say. And, they have this Obsession movie is doing really well. Now, Blumhouse is distributing this. This is a YouTuber who makes little YouTube movies, little short movies. He's been doing for quite a while, and he finally got his full length movie, and it's doing very well in the movie cinema. I have no idea what this movie. I know it's basically about this guy wants a girl, she rejects him. He finds some magic to get her to love him, and he gets what he wants, but he doesn't realize that comes with an extreme price. That's the premise,
Yeah.
and we've seen it before. Usually, it's the opposite, right? But it's doing well, and it's another indie. There was another indie, YouTube creator had something come out here recently too, and then of course we have the one with Markiplier come out not too long ago. But it's good. These are up and coming independent creators. It's great.
Well, and it's a lot of these movies that are coming out. Some of them are based off of just straight up memes.
Yeah.
That were created. And
Backrooms particularly. Yeah.
Yeah, Backrooms was just a meme, literally a meme created that was a little bit of an existential horror in a way. That kind of
there's
mundane dread.
Yeah.
And then this guy comes along, and then there's other people too, who made a whole YouTube channel around it, or around just making short animated films. And his biggest success, from what I understand, is the Backroom series. And A24 was like, "Hey, you're pretty good. Would you like to make a whole movie?" And he said, "Why? I thought you'd never ask."
Right.
And now that's what he's doing. There have been rumors that this movie they're slating it to make $100 million. We'll see if it does, or if it will. But that would be amazing, because we have needed a influx of actual talent into Hollywood for my whole life, just about. I mean, honestly, the last great influx was the late 70s with your George Lucas and your Spielberg getting big, and all these guys. So we are
independents,
super due for a huge influx of high quality actual visionaries. And I think it's interesting that it's happening yet again, just if you notice, with horror movies. Listen, I've been on here for years, and I've been saying horror movies suck. And it's not because the genre sucks, it's because what they've become since the mid-'80s have sucked. There have been a few bright spots, but by and large, if you're not into slasher or jump scares, horror isn't for you anymore. It didn't used to be that way. And this movie, I don't know, I haven't seen it, but from what I've seen, it seems much more about that unsettling, like, what the hell is going on kind of horror, less so about, big jump scares that get you.
Particularly
or just brutality.
Backrooms.
Yeah, and Backrooms too. It's extremely, they call it liminal horror. And basically what it is it's things that shouldn't scare you necessarily, but if you stare at them long enough, they make you get that feeling that, like, I don't like this. I don't like. It's like when you look down the hallway of a long hotel. It just kind of,
something about your brain doesn't like it. It doesn't like that long, straight line. It's not natural. It's not normal in nature. That doesn't exist. But you're in one. And if you do it for long enough, it can give you that little bit of a creep feeling, right? It's not like, you're not like, you're just like, uncomfortable.
Well,
and
that's another reason why the ancients, when they built stuff, whether it be temples or even underground areas, they made them so their ceilings vaulted.
That's right.
They did it on
That's right.
a lot of people. Why are they so tall? Well, because of that effect. That's why.
That's right. Break that line.
They're
Break your eye line.
Good. Yeah, they're trying to create
Yes.
a power spot, not something that freaks you out.
And that's what like the liminal thing with Backrooms specifically. There's other ones too, but the Backrooms, I'd say, is definitely the one that got the biggest. I mean, there's whole people, their entire YouTube career is that, and that's all they do is they talk about Backrooms stuff. So it's interesting. This movie's coming out. I hope it's good. I think his name is Kane Parsons, the guy which awesome name, by the way. That's his real name too. He's the guy who's going to be doing it. He's young. I think he's only like 20. He's real young. If this movie is as successful as it is, he's going to have a crazy career unless Hollywood corrupts him. We'll see, though.
They're both young. Both these guys are young. And like I said, Markiplier did something similar here, right? With was it Iron Lung or whatever it was called?
Yep.
And
horror is the genre that changes it every time. When you go back throughout history with Hollywood, whenever there's a great change, what precedes it is a horror revolution or a horror renaissance or whatever you want to call it. And I think that might be what's happening here because the big grandiose, overbloated corporate slop movies, they are flopping at an unbelievable pace. They are losing hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. Billions of dollars are being lost on these films over the last 6 years. It just can't continue, right? There is a limit to how deep their coffers go, and I think we've finally seen it. Look at what just happened with The Mandalorian and Grogu. I don't know if you plan to talk about it, but woo! That's a Star Wars movie, ladies and gentlemen, and it has completely bottomed out. Gone, done.
We did talk about it at length last week. You were sleeping.
I was, yeah.
Yes, you were. But that's all right. And what I wanted to do here with Blumhouse, because everything he just said is true with Backrooms and Obsession. YouTube guys, particularly Backrooms, you go on your YouTube, I don't know, what are there, hundreds of those clips? Hundreds.
Oh, easily. Yeah, easily.
The Obsession guy does that kind of YouTube movie, short movies too. But the Backrooms guy is, prolific. But nevertheless, I want to talk about, he wants to turn himself into Horror Central. Blumhouse, and it's like, okay, fair enough. You kind of already are doing that, but let's take a look. I thought would be interesting in seeing at what have they made. They've got 164 movies already. I mean, come on, dude. Now, not all of this is made. Blumhouse hires a director and does it themselves. A lot of it they buy, right?
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that. And let's take a look. We got Lee Cronin's The Mummy here. Is very recent one, of course. And I don't know the rating on it, but I saw a lot of mixed reviews. Some people really enjoyed it, and others not as much. But it definitely made some kind of impact. We have another Insidious coming. Oh my God. We got Strung coming. It's about they've done a bunch of these movies about crazy violin players, but that's coming. Black Phone 1 and 2, very different movies. Both did well. Upgrade, loved this movie. Have you seen it?
I have not.
Oh my God, go watch Upgrade, dude. It's so killer. It's really, really fun little action movie. It's
now the next one I have seen and I loved it.
Oh, dude, James McAvoy is a tour de force. That's what it is. Tour de force.
Oh, it is exactly what I want from a pseudo horror movie. I don't know. I just say it's a horror movie. It's everything I want. It's a brilliant performance by your lead, which is very necessary for good horror because they're carrying a lot of it. And it's if you've never seen Split, granted it's a decade old now, you need to get on that because that's one of the best movies with this premise ever made.
Oh, yeah,
ever. It's so good.
Is amazing. And of course, keep in mind, if you notice, James Blum himself shows up in these movies as an actor, right?
Yeah. Jason. Yep.
Yeah. Jason, sorry, did I say something else?
Yep.
Anyway, Five Nights at Freddy's, it didn't hit great, to be fair. The Invisible Man, people liked it.
Yep.
People enjoyed it.
They did.
The Exorcist Deceiver, no, big bomb. The Gift, actually, with Jason Bateman, this movie has become a little bit of a cult classic,
Right.
even though it's only 11 years old. It's way better than it has any right to be. Don't know this movie at all. This one bombed horribly because they missed
Well, because they went
the mark.
Terminator.
They did.
Yeah.
Don't know this. Black Phone, of course, did very well. Second one, less so. Paranormal Activity. Is this a reboot? Looks like it's coming in
It's
next.
yeah, it is.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if
Death
it's a
Day.
reboot or if it's just a continuation, but yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's the same one.
We have Happy Death Day. Of course, this was it's Groundhog Day, basically horror version, and it did really, really well. I don't know the ratings, but this movie is beloved, and it's 100%. Once again, it's not very old, but it's already a cult classic. Happy Death Day. The Lost Bus. This is very new, and I don't know much about it, although it's got Matthew McConaughey in it.
It's weird, man. There's like I was mentioning this earlier, but it's so true. There is a complete ecosystem of other films and TV shows and whatever that I have never seen a single bit of because it's on Apple. Never seen any of it. Got no idea.
Yeah, stop with the Apple crap. That is true. You're right. Truth or Dare, stupid, teeny horror movie. Yeah, there's always going to be that. Speak No Evil with McAvoy. I haven't seen it, but honestly, I don't think I will because this is based on a European movie, and this remake completely misses the point altogether. Completely misses the point, right? So it's supposed to be a remake, but it's not. It's the premise is literally the opposite of what it's supposed to be. It got really bad reviews because of that. Yeah. Okay, thank you. The Hunt. This was a bit controversial, of course. Wolfman, didn't see it. You guys see this one?
Did not.
Yeah, it's weird little take. Weird little take. Get Out was very popular. I think it's dumb as shit, but people liked it. Megan, great movie. It's so
Purge,
sad, dude. So
classic.
sad. Yeah, but Megan was a great, fun little movie, and then they went stupid and did the second one. Purge, already a cult classic.
They had a chance to make a brand new Chucky with Megan.
Yeah,
and they
kind of did
with the second
they
one.
Screwed up with the second one. Yeah, it's too
Yep.
bad. They are doing spin-offs and stuff. We'll see how it goes. But the Purge, of course, The Woman in the Yard. I've heard of it, but haven't seen it. Freaky. I think this is a Body Swap. Yeah, it's a Freaky Friday remake. Night Swim. Haven't seen it. Sinister. That's going back a ways. This is a good movie.
Pretty good, yeah. I've seen that one.
Soulmate. This is the spin-off of Megan, by the way.
Interesting.
Grimlock, you can jump in anytime you like,
I haven't watched any of the movies. That's why I ain't said nothing.
Yeah, Totally Killer. It's just the teeny bopper slasher movie, right?
Yeah.
Don't know this. Glass. Drop the ball. Insidious.
It did. It's a shame.
Popular. Visit. It's M. Night Shyamalan, dude. It's that guy. I don't understand him. He's so hit or miss. He might be the definition of hit or miss, right?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, no. When he hits, he hits. But when anything else, but he's basically the guy who you put. Who he's the batter who only hits home runs or he strikes out. That's it. That's all he's got.
Yeah, this movie is basically about Alzheimer's, kinda. It could have been something, but it didn't hit viral. I don't know this one. Benji, stop it. Do you remember Benji back in the day? You guys would have been young though.
Yeah.
Do you remember Benji?
Yeah. Said it's a remake. Says it right there. They remade it.
It is,
Why?
but well, we had Lassie, Rin Tin Tin, and Benji, right? And
Yep.
the what is it, Nutty Professor or something like that.
Hmm.
Smart dog things. We had Flipper. Anyway, Insidious, more stuff. Ma 2. Is this to be announced? Is this Guillermo del Toro's Mama?
I don't know.
Huh. Lazarus Effect. It's not a good movie, but it is a little bit of a guilty pleasure for me for some reason. I like it. You ever seen it?
I have not.
Yeah. Well, if you haven't got the theme yet, uh, they're already kind of horror central. Now, Red Letter Media kind of complains about them because they think they put out more slop than good. But so far, what we're looking at is a lot of good movies, a lot of fun movies. There's some failures, but it's some fun stuff. This one is Guillermo del Toro, I'm pretty sure, or somebody affiliated to him. Thread, another Insidious, Firestarter, the remake. Don't even just erase it from history. Yeah. It's so bad, dude. It's so bad. I watched it to see, but they missed every point that needed to be missed. And this little girl, who plays what's her name? Well, the Drew Barrymore character. She's too old, and it's just not right. Halloween, I don't like these. I don't like the Halloween stuff at all. From Blumhouse, I hate this shit. Anyway, the Forever more Purge stuff, more paranormal. So they've done all the paranormal activity. Didn't know that. Didn't know that. Prey. I don't know this. You guys know this?
Hmm.
No.
No. Something is killing the children. Maybe. The Bondsman. It's a mini series. I did see. I've seen clips, and it's kind of funny actually. Black Klansman. I have never seen. This is a Grimlock movie.
Yeah.
No, no. Imaginary
No.
bombed mega hard. Insidious, of course. Paranormal Activity, very very profitable. The Darkness. Oh yeah. I did see this one. Actually, it's a fun little movie. Fun little. This is a real pure horror movie, by the way. You should have left. Don't know. Don't let go. Incarnate. Wow, this just goes on. Mercy. No, this is not the one I'm thinking of. No, okay. The Rage. Is that a remake? Oh no, okay. Creep. Yeah, I didn't care for that movie, although budget to profit is enormous with this movie. Craft, go to hell. Dark Skies. Didn't watch it, but that's like a UFO abduction, isn't it? Oh, here we go. Oh, this one. Please don't make a second one. Please don't. This was
Well, they're
so
doing it.
bad. It was so bad. I don't know why, but people need to understand Octavia Spencer isn't the best thing since sliced bread. She's really not. She, she's just the kind of token black lady that gets thrown in everything. I mean, honestly, what's the best we've seen out of her? You know, let me go check that. I have to check that
Oh no.
because I've seen some of her stuff and I haven't seen anything good. There must be something though, because they keep putting her in everything, dude. But that movie bombed so incredibly hard, dude. That Ma, she's basically the slasher, right? She's the killer. Do you guys like Octavia Spencer? Do you like her?
Don't even know who she is.
She's in everything, dude. She's the standard fat black lady.
No, don't care then.
Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, she's just little bit pieces here or there. See, that's the thing. She's a standard black lady, and they just throw her in everything as a standard black lady. See, one episode, one episode, one episode. Ooh, she got 5 here. One episode, one episode, one episode. Ooh, she got 6 in Chronicles. The Chronicles. That was actually kind of fun. Uh, but yeah, she just kind of gets thrown in here or there as a standard fat black lady. Everywhere we see her.
I just noticed what Maple Sheik said.
Yeah. And then, of course, when she gets more, it's something I've never heard of. Yeah,
Hmm.
she's really not done anything great. She just shows up as cameos. She's the cameo fat black lady. To be
Listen, she's
fair,
making a good living doing it.
she
All right.
is, and good for her. She is just kind of making the fat
She's
black
not
lady
very
money.
pretty, so she's doing what she's working with what she's got, Chester.
She
We
is.
can't. Unfortunately, not everybody won that genetic lottery and came out pretty. You know.
I didn't say she wasn't pretty. I mean, her face is fine. She's just a fat black lady. But you know, it is what it
Well,
is. But she
well.
shows
I
up
mean,
everywhere.
she's black, so her chances of being pretty are much lower on average. That's not
Yeah,
me talking. That's not like racism. That's just a fact. Like it's just
yeah.
if you
No,
look at all the data.
the more mulattoes tend to kind of have better bone structure in that regard. Although
Yeah,
we've seen some pretty black ladies though. There are pretty
absolutely. My
black
first
ladies.
girlfriend was very black, and she was very pretty.
Yeah.
But no, it's 100%. It's just on average. If you the more that you get in that demographic, the higher your ceiling is. We'll call it.
Right.
It takes a lot more to get up and over that hill for a black woman. There's a reason
Yeah.
why they're the least desirable on all the dating apps and stuff. And it's not. It just is what it is.
Grimlock, is that why they've all gone lesbian?
You asking me for why women do stupid shit that they do?
You're the black representative.
Yes, but they're still women.
That is true.
You're looking for logic there?
No, that's true. Starting to get into less and less stuff that I recognize. Now, this right here, Ouija, the original Ouija, Ouija board movie was horrible. But the second one here, this Origin of Evil, was actually a great little horror movie. This is a good one.
Yeah.
So go watch that one. These guys have made. Oh God, Amityville, stop it. Black Chris, that was a horrible remake. Fantasy, horrible. So I see what Red Letter Media is saying. They really, they Blumhouse is just the hack work in their opinion. But we're also seeing a lot of stuff that's made good money though, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it is a lot of crap. But what do you expect? You got to get that. They're just throwing it at the wall here. But I mean, it's interesting that Jason wants to say he wants to become the epicenter of horror movies, and it's kind of like, well, you've already kind of done that, dude. I mean, you're already there. But whatever. I just thought it'd be fun to take a look at. What Grimlock doesn't know is on Maple Chic is just throwing racism right at you. As far as he's concerned, all black people not only look alike, but they're related. Good job, Maple Chic.
I mean, he's not wrong.
No, he is wrong. It's very wrong. Grimlock's black. He doesn't watch horror white man movies. Oh, fair enough. Is that true?
I used to, but they just it got to a point where like it wasn't horror. It was like Sundar was saying. It was either all slasher flicks,
Yeah,
or the jump scares, or to me the premise was just so stupid that I'm laughing more than like genuinely scared.
true. But the problem is we're getting older, and we've seen it all. That's another factor to take into mind, right? It's another factor. I mean, if you think about some of the what movie when you were young, like a teenager, Grimlock, had the biggest impact on you? I mean, you still remember that moment, that experience.
As far like any movie or horror movie?
No, any movie. Yeah.
I
For
guess
me,
I
it's
would
The
have to
Thing.
say. I would have to say like Smokey and the Bandit.
Oh, dude, Smokey and the Bandit was awesome, dude. Smokey and the Bandit was awesome. But
Smokey and the Bandit, George Rabbit.
yeah, but I mean, Smokey and the Bandit still holds up, though. I've actually seen it recently; it still holds up. But when you're young and you see a certain thing, a certain genre for the first time, and it's done well, it sticks with you. Whereas we've seen it so many times, right? That as you get older, you become jaded to things. It is what it is. Boys in the Hood with Ricky. That was a good movie, dude. I like that. Boys in the
It's a
Hood was
good
excellent.
movie, but that was a movie. That's one of those movies like I watched one time and I have no interest in ever seeing again.
Sure. But I mean, like, remember when we got the TV show The Wire?
I never watched The Wire.
Oh my God, what are you doing, dude? That's a good TV show. But we've had
I
so
used to
many,
work
so many
because like,
since
it,
copy it, right?
when HBO like was at their peak, like all their good shows came on a Sunday night, and I was always working. So a
I
lot of
see.
times people would come to me like, "Did you see The Wire?" I'm like, "No, I was unloading a truck last night.
Right,
What the fuck
right.
is that?"
Now, well, the thing that's good about it is talking about black gang culture. That's what the whole show is about. But it isn't
Yeah,
banging you over the head with it's white man's fault. No,
yeah.
they are criminals. It's their own damn fault, right? It's practical and realistic. Look, now we've seen dozens since copy it, right? We've seen lots copy it.
Mhm.
But the original impact of The Wire was really good because it was unique. Kind of like if you want to go back even further, Hill Street Blues. Hill Street Blues was doing police procedural different than we had seen before. It had an impact. Now people would laugh at a lot of it, just like the young kids laugh at The Exorcist. But when that shit came out, dude, no one had ever seen anything like that. Boy,
Yep.
right? I saw that younger than I should have, and that thing hit. Now it is a little bit dated, right? So I'm just saying that's part of it, and we see a lot of young people hitting off on movies that are copies of older things, and they may be as good or not as good. But I get why they fall in love with it because it's their first experience with it, right?
Oh yeah. It's I watched a lot of those. I guess you could say the black movies back when I was a kid, and like a lot of them, at least for me, it was you watch it once and you never have a desire to see it again. Kind of like J.J. Abrams.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Well, yeah. I
to be
mean,
honest,
yeah,
if I was going to go back and watch black movies, it would be the black exploitation movies of the '70s. To me,
yeah.
they have way more rewatchability than a lot of the
They
ones
are
from
they are
the
fun.
90s. And Boys in the Hood is great. Yes, Boys in the Hood is a great movie, but you watch it once. Do you really need to watch that again?
No, but
Some people, yeah.
I'll watch Dynamite or Shaft any day, dude.
Yeah. Uptown Saturday Night is still a way more watchable movie than Boys in the Hood.
Yeah, yeah. But although the only problem with those '70s movies is everyone's so sweaty. A lot of sweatiness in the '70s. I don't know
Yes.
what it was, but everybody was just putting the sweat on pretty heavy. One of the worst examples of that would be The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, which is an amazing movie. But there's a lot of sweatiness in that movie. A lot. You know,
Another movie you can go back and watch again and again.
yeah, yeah. But something about the '70s and sweatiness, especially Shaft. Those there are naked black girls in those movies, just so you know. They are sweaty. Damn.
Well, they were just fucking. That's
They are just fucking. That is true.
or at least implied.
That is true. It is amazing how dry everyone is having sex in movies and TV shows these days, and it is odd that the girls still have their underwear on. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, like who the fuck?
Yeah,
Like,
just so you know, as I have been accused, I am a master of the one-hand bra unbuttoning. Just so you know.
Excellent.
no, but I
Excellent.
just want to know who's out here having great sex and he ain't sweating like a fucking pig in a sauna.
That's right. Yeah, as it should be.
One of the best,
Just
one of the
dripping,
funniest things I remember
dripping.
ever during a good session when I was a little younger, and we were warm, and I was sweating, and it tripped and got right in her mouth. She lost her fucking mind. So you said that. I didn't stop. Nope, sure didn't.
Hell no.
I would have just considered, like, of all the things that have gone flying in these last 20 minutes, that's what got you.
Yeah.
No, I think I said, well, you should have wiped my brow or something like that.
Help me out. Help me out,
Should've
baby.
wiped
What
it
are
off.
you doing? What are you doing, baby? Absolutely. But that is the
Menace.
thing. Yeah, the sex scenes have become very stale these days. But then again, occasionally a sex scene I think is valuable in a movie, but a lot of times it's just gratuitous, right? It's not necessary.
No, they haven't done the gratuitous yet.
Oh yeah, they did. Game of
They need to
Thrones.
have, they need to
Game of
have, they need,
Thrones.
no, they need to have the sex scene where your girl licks the sweat off of you like a deer for the salt.
Oh, that definitely happened in Shaft. A lot. A lot. A lot. But yeah, no, it's a weird thing. It's either way too gratuitous or just lame. And it's but a lot of times it's not even necessary. Like I just mentioned Spider-Man Noir, right? And there are a couple of moments that clearly sex has taken place, but they don't show it to you. There's no need for it,
Yeah.
right? It's
Well, and
unnecessary.
especially considering, like, sex scenes are. Listen, I get when you're like 15, you haven't had sex or you haven't had a lot of it yet, they can be exciting.
Sure.
But once you've done it enough times, you're like, that's not what it's like. What?
And
Who's doing it like that? And if they are, they're terrible. What are you doing, bud? I almost want to be like, bro, listen, you got to get your hips. What are we doing? Your angles are all wrong. I want to get in there and coach them because this looks ridiculous. Nobody fucks like that.
And of course, these days when you do see it, because we don't see it as much, well, unless it's like Spartacus or Game of Thrones or something where it's just gratuitous as hell.
Yeah.
But when you do see it, the guys these days, of course, they work out, they take their job seriously as far as they're putting their body in the shape that's necessary for that character. Guys do that.
Right.
Very, very few girls bother to do that at all, right?
Yep.
So we get a lot of these love interests in movies, and they'll have their sex scenes, but those girls are not sexy at all, not at all, right? And it would have been better just to insinuate it because they're not,
which is usually better anyway. In the vast majority of cases, letting the audience imagine what it was like, later down the line, whether through reaction or what consequences, whatever, is better. And that's the case, honestly, for most violence, too. Now, obviously, there's time and a place, but I think most films do better when the violence is just heavily implied than if it's direct or brutal. Now, there's, again, exceptions, of course. Some movies wouldn't be the same without it, like 300, for instance. But I think most films can get away with much more subtlety. And that's a lost art in Hollywood. And I'm hoping if noir comes back, we get more of it, because that's one of the best things about noir is it's very subtle when it's done well.
It is.
Very subtle.
It is, and it's great. I do apologize, guys. I need to make a PSA.
Uh-oh. PSA in us.
PSA.
PSA and all over us.
Alan, polyester.
Yes.
So, folks, polyester. Do not allow polyester to be anywhere near your flesh, particularly your groin area. You see, polyester is actually made from oil, right? It is plastic. And your groin area, particularly those humans that have scrotums. Yeah.
The scrotals.
This is the most absorbent skin on your body. And those polyester clothing actually give off the polyester, and it gets absorbed into your bloodstream. And one of the things it does, amongst other negative stuff, is drop your sperm count like a freaking rock. So,
like a freight train.
Do not wear polyester anything. 1. 2, do not put it anywhere near your dick.
Yep. In fact, put very few things near your dick. Just as an aside. Just leave that area cotton. That's what you need. Cotton. Just cotton.
Cotton. Yeah. So, PSA over. But, I hope I made my point. So, Alan, keep the polyester away from the dickage. All right?
Chester, you might know the answer to this question. It's not about dicks. Just as an aside.
Okay.
When did cotton... Was it us that made cotton mundane? Because cotton used to be, for Kings, basically. What they call it, the whatever of Kings textile or something. It was a very wealthy situation, at least not well, maybe not like silk, but still. So when did it become much more mundane? Was it us? Was it the Industrial Revolution? When do you think that happened? Do you know?
Well,
Because now it's cotton. Nobody takes it. It's not. It just is. It just is. It's so ubiquitous with clothing. No one questions it.
yes, you are correct. It was the Industrial Revolution,
Yeah,
and
makes
this, of
sense.
course, is what built the initial wealth of America was the cotton
Yeah,
trade,
cotton and
and
hemp.
it did have it's been around a very long time, of course, but because of the difficulty of making it en masse, it was more restrictive and more expensive. Now, with the creation of the cotton gin by Eli Whitney, we were able to do it at high rates, and therefore it boomed. So it is a
Right.
modern phenomenon. Yes. Yeah.
Interesting, because I think it's like I said, it's become ubiquitous with clothing. Pretty much everybody. I'm just going to say pretty much, just in case there's some weirdo person out there, but basically everybody wears cotton, right?
Yeah.
Everything's made of cotton now. Shirts,
Yeah.
underwear. I just find that interesting. I find that fascinating how something can switch up so heavily, right? From something that was considered near luxury or luxurious, depending where you were in the world, to yeah, even our ass paper's made out of it. Like we make everything out of it now.
Do
The
we?
diapers made out of it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Cottonelle toilet paper's got cotton in it. Fine threads of
Well,
cotton.
I will give you a little insight into the word. Etymologically, it is an Arabic word.
Mm,
So,
interesting. Doesn't even
but
sound Arabic. That's interesting. Cotton doesn't
well,
sound very
the
Arabic to me.
original would have been kutun, kutun.
Ah, that's better. That sounds more ridiculous. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. But no, people have been growing cotton for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Um, the earliest is for me, it's about 8,000 years ago, I guess, is the earliest we know of. So it
Right.
has been a
Lies.
long time. But
I was
co-
told that cotton didn't exist until black people came along to pick it.
oh, okay, there.
It's not even that hard to pick. That's
No,
the worst part about the whole thing. It's pretty easy, actually.
it just well, the problem is the manpower required.
Yeah. Yep.
Whereas if you have the cotton gin, then your manpower is greatly reduced. You can use the machinery, of course, as we use today, and then put it through the
Correct.
ginning process and get all the thorns and crap out, right? Separate it. That's
Right.
always been the issue. It has been manpower. Whereas,
Uh,
but then again, when we look at it, linen's process is not much better,
Yeah.
right? The
True.
process of making linen is long and arduous. So humans have making clothing, was always a bit of an issue. And when you go back and look at old movies, they always want to make the Europeans look filthy. They always got dirty faces
Yeah.
on them, which is
Which is ridiculous.
insane. It's
Yes.
outrageous. They're Christians. What are one of the main tenets of Christianity? Cleanliness is
Yes.
next to godliness.
That's right.
Frickin' Hollywood, dude, and BBC and all of them. The Europeans were not filthy. They were very clean people. Now, in
Yes.
later stages with the French, they had the Black Plague, and they thought it was related to bathing. They were
Right.
idiots. They made a mistake,
Yep.
right? And they actually pushed it along. But that is an isolated little moment in history. For the most part, Europeans were extremely clean, very, very clean. Matter of fact, most people in history have peoples are always clean, right? But it's
Yep.
funny. You go watch about. They have a lot of movies talking about the Crusades, right? And they always have the Saracens just spick and span clean. I mean, super
That's
sharp
right.
clean. The Europeans are filthy and their faces are dirty and their tunics are disgusting. It's not the truth. Now, the point I
No.
want to make is that people didn't have lots of clothing because they were
Right.
expensive and, like I said, it was arduous no matter what you're making, right? And certain things were more expensive than others. So showing more simple clothing that they used over and over again is more accurate. But you have to keep in mind we have certain clothing today that we don't really use, or we use because it's traditional, like say the overall or the
Yep.
uniform, right? Those things were literally designed to keep your clothing clean. That's the whole point
Right.
of them. These days, everybody's got a set of clothing for every day of the week, if not a lot
Yes.
more.
Oh, a lot
So
more.
it
Yeah.
doesn't apply now. But that was the purpose of those things. They went to great lengths to keep themselves clean and their clothing clean as well. But yes, cotton was a little more expensive. Linen was cheaper, but very difficult to make. Silk was a specialty, and even though we can make
Oh
it
yeah.
in incredible quantities today, we still overcharge for it. I would say the easiest process of making anything was wool.
Yeah. You shear that sucker right off.
Yep, and you
What
put
a
it through the
surprise! The Lord
washers.
provided again. He said, "Look, you idiots! Look right here.
Yeah,
Just take it off this sheep. It's fine.
yeah,
That's what I made it for."
yeah. So and of course, leather is another thing that is very easy to do and a fairly
Yep.
quick process. And that's why you see so much leather and woolen products, especially when you get up into the uh, northern climes, because wool is not only easy to make, it is water resistant.
And it
With the
lasts.
lanolin oils all throughout it, and it will last. So yeah, me personally, I have some woolen suits.
Ooh,
I don't
but
have
those are
any.
hot.
Yeah, but I look good. Who cares? Anyway, um,
You're definitely not a warm blood like me, because
no, I'm not.
I wouldn't look
Yeah,
good. I'd be dying. My
yeah,
face would be all red. I'd be so hot. I'd just be, who put me in this? Who's trying to kill me? That'd be me.
right. But I've never really wear it against my skin though. I usually wear cotton. I hate polyester with a passion.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love silk. I used to have a whole bunch. I need to get some more. I used to have a whole bunch of silk shirts. I love silk. It feels. I don't think,
it is
in
very
my
good.
opinion, nothing feels like silk. It just feels so good. And I have really sensitive skin, so I don't like polyester. I don't like blended cotton. I like
No,
cotton and silk. That's about it. And anything else, my skin will just. I'll be itchy. I just doesn't like it. So I usually have to wear, like, button up shirt. I almost always have to put an undershirt, a cotton undershirt, because
right.
if I just go straight, my torso, my stomach especially, it just won't tolerate it. I'll
Yeah, yeah.
be just miserable.
Well, I just
So
don't
I can't.
buy.
I don't wear wool either, because me and wool is like, nah. That's a bad time for the skin. Um,
Yeah.
but
Well,
yeah,
most of my
I
suits.
just find it interesting. I find it very interesting how difficult it was to clothe people, and that's why they used the most simple material most people did anyway that they could find. What would you think? I wonder this. This is a curiosity of mine. What do you think is the hardest crop to deal with? Is it rice? Because I hear rice is really a pain in the ass.
It's rice,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
100%. It
Real,
takes the
real pain in the
longest.
ass.
It's the longest period of time. It requires the largest amount of water and
Yeah.
attention. But yeah, rice is the worst. But the reason they do it is because over here they live in a very wet climate, so water is not an issue at all, right?
Right.
That's one big plus. And two, rice is not necessarily the most nutritious thing, but it is the highest amount of calories per weight of any
Yep.
foods.
Yep.
I mean, as far as actual good calories. That's why rice is so big in Asia, because you can literally raise the population on it. And keep in mind the Orientals here, the Asian types,
Yeah.
they cannot. Obviously, you can't go on a completely vegan diet. You need to have the occasional bit of meaty proteins in your diet just for health reasons. But they
Yes.
can go the longest without it of all people, whereas the white people, especially in Northern Europeans, we can't go very long without some kind of supplement, right?
Some kind of thick protein.
Yeah. And all these
Um,
vegans or all these white Karen vegans out there yelling and screaming all the time, they're not telling you that they take a little pill every day. They're
yeah,
lying to you.
or they don't, and they're miserable and dying on the
They're
inside,
dying, yeah.
literally.
Oh,
Like
dude.
my wife was a vegetarian for about 3 years, and it was she nearly, literally, Chester, nearly died
Yeah, no, it's
because
bad for you, dude.
eventually she went to the doctor. She said, "Man, I feel terrible." And they tested all her levels, and she was critical on almost every vitamin level, on zinc, on all of it. Stuff that meat
Yeah.
gives you. And they had to give her shots to get her levels back up. And then after that, I was like, "All right, you're done. You're eating meat. Have this piece of bacon." And that was it. Now she's back to being a meat eater.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
tried to. I told her, and I told her for years. I said, "Listen, it's not going to work." Well, but this person's been doing it. But yeah, okay, fine. That's great for them. It's not going to
They're
work for
lying
you.
to you, though. They're lying.
One, they're probably not telling the truth, and two, you're a Celt. You need meat.
You need meat.
You need
White people
it.
need meat.
Yeah,
But like my wife's mother, my mother-in-law, she doesn't eat meat a lot. I mean, she's mainly a vegetarian, not a vegan, a vegetarian. But
right.
she does eat meat occasionally. She just made some meat the other day. So even vegetarians occasionally will have some meat. But the Asians can do it better than anybody. And you can literally raise a population on rice here with very minimal protein additives and get away with it. Whereas we
Right.
can't do that as much. But then again, for most of our history, white people are just pure carnivore anyway. They hardly eat any vegetable or grain. They're mainly just eating meat.
Right.
If you go back
And
and
bone broth.
look at our history, yeah, yeah. But
Mhm.
and it makes sense if you think about where we're coming from.
Right.
But yeah, veganism is pure stupidity.
I need to get me on that bone broth. I think that'd be a good addition. Get some bone broth going. It's really
Yeah,
good for you.
it is good for you.
Extremely good for you.
Lard. I buy lard. I still use it.
We just switched because we were using margarine for a while because we're using like light margarine. But
Yeah,
I said, nah, that's stupid. So we just switched over to real butter.
yeah.
Just
Butter's
this
great.
last month, and it's so good. I forgot how much I love butter. It's so
Butter's
good.
great, but it's also good for you. But
Yep.
in the West, of course, our grain of choice would be wheat in the form of bread. And
Right.
bread doesn't carry the same amount of calories as rice does, but bread carries so many nutrients, so many
When it's made
vitamins,
right. Yeah.
and
Hmm.
there's some magic that goes on with bread.
Yep.
It is a superfood, proper
There's
bread.
nothing. There's nothing. I don't care what anybody says. When it comes to a very simple staple food, there's nothing that beats a good homemade sourdough bread.
Yep,
Nothing.
it's killer.
Because you can do anything with it. Anything. What do you want on it? How do you want it to taste? You want it to be sweet? Here you go. Put that on there. You want it to be a little salty? Here you go. Put that on. You want it to be nice and savory? Slap some butter on there. You can do anything with it. It is the most versatile food there is. The only one that's probably right up there with it is rice. Right? It's right there. You can do anything with rice
You
too.
can.
But so, I don't know if you could make it sweet. I've never had sweet rice. Maybe that's a thing.
I have it. Don't do it.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. But you can do just about everything else with it. And it's just one of those things. That's one of the. This is why all these people who are like bread, you gotta cut out the bread. Like you realize we wouldn't even be here if we cut out the bread.
Yeah.
The
No,
human
bread.
species would have probably went bye bye without the bread.
No, bread is so healthy for you. It's so
Yeah.
healthy.
It's because they buy that highly processed bullshit, and then they don't pay attention to the one that they're buying. If you go and actually look at the breads, even the ones on the shelf, you can get high quality bread.
Yeah.
You're going to pay more money for it, of course,
Right.
but you can get, and it tastes so good. I get stuff, it's only 40 calories a slice, and it tastes infinitely better than any white bread or any other grain bread you're going to find because it's packed with all of it. It's just they took a lot of the, they lowered the calories. It's so good, and you can do anything with it. A lot of times you get that low-calorie bread, and it's basically just paper or whatever. You can't toast it. This you can do anything with it, and it's so good.
Well, that's a whole nother conversation you're kind of bringing up, and I wouldn't mind talk about a bit. Is I see a lot of people on online, well, on YouTube is where I see it, and they're complaining that they can't survive in the world, they're very, depressed, it seems. But it's like
Yep.
I listen to them talking about what they're doing and how nothing, it doesn't matter what you do, the inflation's so bad you just can't survive. But I'm listening to what they're doing, and it's like, well, why do you have a car with such a high monthly cost? Why are you in a
Mm.
two-bedroom house when you're a single person? Why
Yep.
are you ordering DoorDash constantly?
Yep.
All these kind of things. If you live properly and you spend your money where you should, like, you should spend a little bit more money on good bread. You should spend a little
Yep.
bit more money
Or
on
learn to
Whole
make it.
Foods, right?
Yep.
Yeah, spend your money wisely. But I see a lot of these idiots whining and complaining, and then you take a look in there, you look at what they're doing for work, and they're just not putting in the time, and they don't think they should have to. Is the problem, and this is why this socialist thinking is growing, right?
Yep.
They're lazy and they're ill managed. No one taught them how to balance their budget or balance their life. There's so many
Yep.
of these idiots complain about they have nothing, but yet you have these incredible car bills. You're in the wrong housing for your money level, and you're just burning money on stupid stuff like DoorDash. And then I see other things with like going to restaurants, which have become a little bit more expensive, unfortunately. But then the tipping thing. I've seen these tipping girls complaining that they only got 20%. And I'm like, well, whoever told you it was that? Tipping is 10% if the service is good. It's
Yep.
not 20%. Who put this idea in their head that they should be getting 20%? Who did that?
Their bosses. That's who did it. The people who don't want to pay them a fair wage, a better wage. They want to make the money back on the tips, so they don't. It's not on them. It's interesting. You go around the world, and tipping thing's not a thing. Pretty much
Nowhere.
just in
Yeah, it's
America,
pretty much dead everywhere. Yeah.
and yet you can still get everything. Right? You go to a restaurant, you're going to get restaurant service. Not
Sure.
going to be much different than American.
No problem. Yep.
Yeah, it's one of the big thing, one of the artifacts, and I don't force tip. There's a lot of people who think that's in America. They'll say you're rude if you don't automatically tip. No. I will tip exceptionally well if I like the person, but I'm not going to do it if they're a piece of shit. I don't give a shit what they're. I don't care.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Be
I
good at your job.
occasionally, but when I was living in the States, I pretty much did 10%. And it
Like
always
we
was that. I
go.
have no clue how it got up this 20+%. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. That is so stupid.
It's craziness. We go to this place. I think I've talked about it before. This restaurant called Charlie's, and in there, we walk in, and basically all the waiters or never waiters, waitresses, know us. Right, come up, give us hugs, the whole deal, because we go there a lot, so we're regulars. And we always give, especially our regular girls, no matter what our bill is, because usually we can get in and out for like 25, maybe $30 if I got a steak. Because it's just that kind of place. It's not high end. It's not low end. It's just right there in the middle, which those places are harder and harder to find in America. I'll always give them at least a $20 tip, no matter what, because one, they're awesome, right? They always take care of us. I don't ever have to worry about bad service. Always. I've always been that way. As long as you do your job, you're going to get your tip.
Yeah.
But now you go into you go into frickin' Subway and they want a tip. Like,
That's
no,
stupid. Yeah.
that
No.
ain't happening.
No. Well, the grocery stores want tips now. It's out of control.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
It is.
I go to restaurants and I have places I go to often that I have same relationship with people. I always make sure I stick my head in the door and say, dude, thank you. That was awesome. Japanese don't do
Yep.
that. But so they always remember me, right? In a place,
Yep.
if it's good food, right? And I only do that if it's good. And they always welcome me. They know they automatically bring the drink I want, stuff like that, because they know me. And I've never
Yep.
tipped in Japan ever because they don't have that system. So I
Right.
get the same kind of relationship and service that you're getting, and I don't tip at all.
Well, I only do it because that's
I
who
get
they
it.
are.
I get
That's
it.
not why I
But
get
you
that
see
service.
what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, no, I 100%. Like I used to have. So when I was working in the hood, the Subway down there. I think I've talked about this before. The Subway down there was right across the street from our shop. And I'd go there, every day, every other day, whatever. And the girl was working in there, who eventually went on to, I think she owns her own Subway now or something. I can't
Nice.
remember, but she was awesome. I just walk in the door, boom. She'd pull the paper, start making my subs because she knew what I wanted.
Hmm.
And it's funny because she was, I've been clear about this. You have yellow fever, Chester. I love me some Latinas. They're my kryptonite. I can't help it.
Those
I can't
are-
help it.
Yeah, but they're
I
also
can't
they
help
murder
it.
you- they murder you. When
They
you're
will
sick.
stab you. That's why I didn't marry one. They will, in fact, stab you.
They will.
But she was a Latina. She was a little cutie pie. And I walked in there one day, and there was this big fat Mexican guy sitting there with like 8 kids.
Yeah.
And she walked over and gave him a kiss on the cheek, and I put together that was her husband or whatever. I was like, oh, man, because I was literally thinking I should probably just ask her out because she's really cute. She knows me. We get along really well. We laugh. She says she misses me when I don't come in. Blah, 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 blah. I was going to ask her out, and then I literally walk in one day, and there she is sitting with this guy. Well, she wasn't sitting there, but he was sitting there, and she walked over and gave him a kiss. And I was like, ah, damn. And apparently, she was like an anomaly. She had a bunch of kids. She didn't get all big and fat like a Latina. Usually Latinas, they start to, they blow up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, she didn't. She stayed. I mean, she was still a little chubby, but she wasn't like, she
Well-
you could see her figure. Let's put it that way.
Sure.
And it wasn't the figure of a ball. Okay,
No.
it wasn't a sphere.
Latinas age pretty poorly.
Yes.
They usually do.
Yes, and I come to find out she was actually older than me, so she was just. There's anomalies though among them, even because some of them won't. Some of them will age like beautifully, and I think she was just one of them. And this dude was. I was like, damn, like he was just big, fat, ugly Mexican guy, and had put a whole bunch of kids in her. Apparently, I was like, all right, fair play. I can't be mad at him. That was my plan. I can't be mad at him.
Yeah, well, if she's popping out that many kids for him, she must be happy. Grimlock,
Yeah.
what's your guilty pleasure? Let me guess. Lithuanians.
I don't have
So
pleasure. I
specific.
like movies that like me.
That's actually that's the way to be. The ones who like you. Pick those ones.
Oh wow.
Because
I'm just
as you know, I'm a half breed, so wherever I stick my dick, it's gonna be interracial. So that's just the name of the game.
that is true.
You ain't down the swirl. I'm not for you.
That's true.
It's funny.
That's true.
It's funny he says that because the number one rule that the so-called pickup artists and those guys have is only go after girls who like you.
Yeah.
That's it. Don't chase girls who aren't interested. Don't, even if they're like tangentially or they're playing a game. Now fuck them. Move on.
Yeah.
Go find the girls who like you because you ain't got time.
That is true. I'm still a little bit irked, Grimlock, that as it turns out, my family doing genealogies, that I'm basically a pureblood. I feel left out of the American experience.
You should. You pure blood filth. How dare you?
Because we all thought for sure we had certain little mixes in there, but no.
Nope,
Oh,
pure blooded. Do you have any
Yeah.
Jewish in there? Did you ever notice that these commercial sites, you always somehow have a tiny bit of Jewish in you, and one of them admitted that they only did that because they were hoping to use it to combat anti-Semitism. Did you see that? Did you hear about that? They said that if everybody had a little Jewish in them, then hopefully it wouldn't make sense for them to hate Jewish people.
Right. Well,
And I'm like, that's silly.
well,
That's silliness.
the Europeans the Celts are supposed to be the tribe of Dan.
Yes.
I mean, the Tuatha Du Danon, right? I mean, they have the Danube. There's a lot of Dan references in Europe,
Yeah.
The Celts. I mean, the Aryans, they're a whole nother thing. But yeah, no, I know the whole Jewish, but they were trying to attach everything in the world to the 12 tribes and how they dispersed. That was a thing back in the day. Yeah.
Yep.
For sure.
Yep.
For sure.
Yep.
Well,
I wonder
anyway,
if they'll ever stop saying everybody's got African in them when they finally just decide to admit that the Africa theory is bullshit.
well, it's dead already inside of the anthropological world. So I guess
Yes.
it'll catch up eventually. Now, to be fair, I grew up when I was at university. The out of Africa was the thing, and
Yes.
because I'm anthrogeneticist, right?
Right.
But we were pretty primitive at that time. These days, we've gone way further than that. And
Yeah.
no, it's not the out of Africa thing. It's actually the opposite. It's into Africa. It's the
Why do
opposite.
we go? We should
Yeah.
just stay out.
Now,
Just let it be. Leave it alone. Leave it.
now,
Let it be.
yeah, who cares? Leave Africa alone. But I always kind of had a hint on that myself, though, because one of the things that they were making an argument for that was the black people have the highest number of mutations, right? And therefore they must be the oldest. But that doesn't make any sense at all. If they have the highest number of mutations, they must be the youngest, right?
Yes.
And of course, it turns out that's exactly the truth. But yeah, that's dead in the water. I don't know when it'll become mainstream. Probably not because there's too much politics behind it. But no, it's not the fact. Human history is far more dynamic and interesting. And of course, I made the joke of me being pure, and not really, but more so than a lot of Americans. But the thing is, there are no pure humans. We're a hybrids. We're a hybrid species. There literally are no pure humans anywhere. We're all mixed. And now I imagine you go back far enough in time, you got to find the first humans, and I guess they would be pure. But that doesn't exist. And that's what makes racism so stupid, right? Um, because we're all mixed. Nobody is pure, right? So, and anthropologists don't understand the argument because it doesn't make any sense in our head. It's illogical. Nevertheless, let's continue on and talk about women's, shall we?
Womans. Here come the Womans.
Now, let's start here.
Oh boy. Emma Corrin wants Marvel return after Deadpool and Wolverine. Her story's not over. Nope, it's over. I saw the movie.
Yeah.
It's over. They ended it. That's it.
Now,
she just wants more work. I can't hate her for that. She wants to get paid.
Exactly.
I'm not mad at her.
I have no problem with it whatsoever. However, I don't know this girl at all. But
wasn't she the one to play Cassandra Nova?
Yeah, she did. She did. She's talking about that character as Cassandra. But the thing with it is, even if they could, of course, they could always do more. You know how they are. They'll beat a dead horse to death. However,
oh yes,
this character is pure evil. Pure evil.
Yeah.
And the way they ended that, Wolverine decided not to kill her and talking to her about Charles's, if he knew about her, he would love her thing, was kind of dumb. She needed dealing with this character is pure evil, and it has nothing to do with the actress. It's just pure evil.
Yeah,
And
that's what she is.
that's what she is. And the thing about that movie, people got a kick out of it. I understand it's a comedy, but there's a lot of distasteful nonsense in that movie, dude. And I'm not talking about the crude humor. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just this one character and her actions, right? Same thing they did with Wanda, Scarlet Witch. Her just destroying all these powerful male characters just with a thought, as if it were nothing. It's just this complete disrespect for the heritage of a character. Now, this one's a little different because it's supposed to be comedy. Okay, it's an extreme form of slapstick, I guess. But I found that many of those moments were kind of cringy, dude. There's some fair humor in it, and but then again, I'm not the biggest fan of super crude humor. I'm not. But I'm also not a big fan of slapstick, right?
Right.
And some people are, and that's totally cool. I'm not saying what's good or bad. I'm just saying it's not for me. But this character is pure evil. And do we really need more of that?
If they bring her back as an actual threat, like something you're supposed to be in fear of, yes, because that is one of the big problems with the MCU from the very beginning was their lack of oh shit villains. One of our criticisms has always been, we don't have enough menace, and Cassandra Nova is supposed to be evil by every extension. I mean, she was cast out of the fucking womb because she was so evil.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Born
Oh
evil.
yes, yeah, purely born evil. And if she wants to be that character, if she can be that, by all means, come back.
Okay.
They're fucking doing this multiverse shit anyway. If she could come back, and because we was talking about what are they going to do after this Doomsday shit? What are they going to do after the Secret Wars or whatever the fuck? Okay, you want to bring a villain and also just not the same rotation of villains every time. Why not? If you're willing to actually, make her a real threat.
Yeah. Now they
Now,
did
if you're
kill
just
her at the
really,
end of the movie. So but they like you said they could bring her back. But the thing is, this kind of character, if you do bring her back, she needs to die in the most spectacular way possible, right?
yeah,
So she wants a buddy comedy with Charles, her brother.
ooh,
So yeah,
Okay, that actually could potentially be funny if it's Charles trying to stop her from doing, like if it was tongue in cheek, and they weren't trying to tell something serious with her. That could be funny. But do we want this to be funny? That's the see. It's
yeah,
not whether or not they could do something and make it cool. It's should they? Should they make this a comedy? Because you could. Gridlock's correct. She's a threat. You could
yeah.
if you gave her a proper storyline, proper motive, and not in a throwaway movie, which is what Deadpool and Wolverine was, which I loved. Loved the movie, by the way, but it's not it's not designed to go forward.
No, it's
Um,
not. That's true. I get.
she could be something special. She
Yeah,
could be if he did well.
I have nothing. I know nothing about this lady. I'm not even talking about her. I'm talking about the thing. But yeah, I don't know. For me, I'm being a bit prudish, I guess. I'm just not a fan of super crude stuff, dude. I'm just not.
but see, what I'm saying is not something super crude. I mean, an actual serious villain. Like,
Yeah, yeah, okay.
all right, imagine her. All right, you've seen Punisher Warzone, right?
Yeah,
All
that's
right,
good. Yeah.
imagine over with that Jigsaw kind of a menace.
Yeah, no, she could be an incredibly murderous thing, but I'm assuming that's why she was locked away here
Yeah,
because of how dangerous and murderous she is. But that whole premise was, but that let's not get into that. I just started with this because um, here's a lady who wants to do more of a really despicable character. Okay, so that
usually you
is
don't see people wanting to do that.
yeah, and okay, good on her for that. But let's take a look at the next lady here we're going to talk about.
Uh-uh.
Uh-oh. Hang on one second.
Get a
I'm
feeling it's
looking at
wrong.
it.
I haven't even looked.
Oh,
I have a feeling.
oh boy. Amelia Clark laughs off Marvel's Secret Invasion, Star Wars, and Terminator flops. Oh boy.
Now, this girl has been in nothing but failures until Game of Thrones, right? Failure after failure after failure, and even during and after Game of Thrones, failure. And the reason why is it's crap woke shit that she gravitates toward, and she's not a very good actress. If you look at Game of Thrones, who is the weakest character in the show, right?
Well,
Assuming her.
It's Daenerys Stormborn. Without question, she's the weakest character. And they knew it because they kept trying, they reduced her lines as much as they could, and they surrounded her with better actors to interact with her, like the little asshole that plays Tyrion. They
Little asshole.
well, he is a little asshole. But he's a phenomenal actor. Phenomenal. That guy
He
is
is.
one of the best actors we got right now, right? Even though he's a little asshole. She is not a good actress. Plain and simple. She's not. And she also gravitates toward this stuff and she just kind of throws it off like, oh, well, but it's like Secret Invasion. A lot of people don't even know that happened yet. Some people think it's still coming. It failed
a
so
lot of people.
badly.
A really good story if they'd have played it right, and they didn't.
No, they didn't because they had to get racist about it. And of course, they used Samuel L. Jackson to get racist, and he's always happy to take racism anytime you give it to him, right?
Yes.
He's happy to jump on that boat, happy, right? But he's one of those
He
old
likes
black
it.
men. They're all angry anyway.
As he's a multi-millionaire doing better than 99.9% of all other white
No,
people. But yeah, go
no,
ahead.
no,
Go ahead, Sam. Be angry, buddy.
I don't know. Mr. T has become quite the jovial older man.
Oh no, Mr. T was always cool though.
And that's because Mr. T is an actual Christian. He believes
Yeah,
it.
but T
He
was
lives it.
always cool, dude. He's never
loves
a
his
black
mama.
man. He's a
Mr. T won't. He ain't gonna let you besmirch his mama. He will tell you
Don't you
he was a
mess with
mama's
his mama.
boy.
National treasure.
That's right. But
True national
come on,
treasure.
Grimlock.
We need
you
more
know what I
Mr.
mean.
T's.
I don't know how much black culture you actually interact with. We joke here, but I don't know your life. But if you have any interaction with black culture, you right well know the most angry people in the black community are old black men. You know that.
I
Old
was
black men are
probably
angry and racist.
I'd say it's older black women.
Well, the black ladies, well, that's all a black lady. Doesn't matter how old they are. They're just
and
a
they're
menace.
operating on so much stolen valor. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. But I've met a lot of angry old black men in my life. But nevertheless,
Yeah,
Star Wars Solo.
I would say that older generation, I think, it's still around because you still have a lot of them older niggas pushing the bullshit, the oppression bullshit.
They do. Yeah.
And
Now, one of her problems is they keep trying to push her as sexy, and I mean, her face isn't bad. She's not an ugly girl, but she doesn't have a body at all, right? She's just not a sexy girl, and that's okay. You don't have to be, right? But they keep pushing her as this. In Solo, she was god awful. I refused to watch this freaking train wreck of a Terminator movie, and she even admitted they shouldn't have made that. Even she said that. So, now she goes through all these failures she's had, or the big ones anyway.
Is that the Terminator movie where they made John Connor the bad guy?
Yeah.
That movie?
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Well, no, this is the one where, but yeah, no, absolutely. But it was that horrible one no one wanted, right? The feminist for divorce. But she does go through and she mentions that, yeah, well, this sucked and that sucked and this sucks and that sucks. But there's the future. And okay, fair enough. But it's just funny that this interview just talking about all of this failure and how much money has actually been lost on the back of this girl and how honestly nonchalant she is about it, if you want to read the article. But my point
Well,
being
that part that you had put up, that you had just had up, where she said, where was it? It said that she had already entered these franchises, so when they don't work out, it's nothing personal. I actually think that's the right attitude for her to take.
it is. I didn't mind the article, to be honest with you, on her opinion.
Because to be honest, it's truthfully not her fault those shits failed.
No, it's not. But I put her up here because of all the failures she represents and the fact that she's happy to talk about male privilege and white men and all of the woke nonsense. She's happy to open her mouth and flap her damn lips. Now, it's not
How
as
old is she
much.
again?
Oh, she's 30 probably. But she's not as noisy as that really ugly girl who plays one of the Starks in Game of Thrones. Well, Maisie something,
Yeah.
whatever her name is.
I was asking because I was trying to figure out how long has she been, in the business? Because I don't follow.
Well, let's take a look. Now, that Maisie girl, part of it I think is she's just bad ugly, and ugly girls get mean. And I guess I get it. Do we get it? Do we understand it? I suppose we do. For the most part, we don't really care unless you're trying to make her sexy, and I don't think they've ever done that with her.
Which is funny that ugly girls get mean because if they didn't, they would be much prettier. They don't seem to understand that. If they stayed pleasant and nice and demure, instantly more sexy, automatically, even if they're not
Yeah.
very pretty.
Yeah, I mean that is true. Attitude helps a lot. That's why when you see a chubby girl, a fat girl, even, they're
Yeah.
either really super sweet and you love the hell out of them, or they're this mean, nasty tornado, right?
Yes.
It's one or the other. Uh,
Gremlin.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I mean, at the same on the same juxtaposition that we've all met, chubby fat girls who are wonderful, wonderful, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's one or the other. But that Maisie girl is not a fat girl. She's just sinfully ugly. And to be fair, they use her in a way. It's
Sinfully ugly.
sinfully, dude. Uh, but they use her in a way that isn't meant to be pretty, and that's fine. But
Yeah.
that's an angry girl right there. That's an angry girl, right? Whereas
Yeah.
Amelia Clark, I think, is more it's what she's supposed to say. It's not as gracious as say Scarlett Johansson, who clearly we understand she's saying what she's been told to say. We can see it. She has there's no heart in it. Where Amelia is a little step up from that. But that Maisie girl, wow, damn.
All
Anyway,
Well, see,
Scarlet is at her core is she is a girl who wants to be in movies and fuck. She's a big old slut, and that's fine. She's allowed to be those things, but she doesn't really have opinions unless they're about having sex and making
which
movies.
one,
That's it.
Amelia?
Scarlett
Oh,
Johansson.
Scarlet. Yeah, Scarlet's a bit of a
Yeah.
whore. That is true. But and she's one of the very rare female sex symbols when she was at her
Yeah.
height. Because it's weird. You would think we'd have a lot of female sex symbols, but we don't. Mostly it's male sex symbols, and it makes sense because that's what women want, and
I'm
men
gonna tell
are.
you the truth, Chester. I think it's because men are prettier. I think men at the top, when they're at the top, right, when they're at that level, I think they're actually prettier creatures.
Well, they're
There's
more
a
interesting
reason.
looking, I guess. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's what I mean by it. They more pretty. When I say pretty, I don't necessarily mean sexually attractive. I mean alluring, meaning they catch your eye.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
There's a
Yeah, I
reason
guess.
why all the great sculptures, or most of them, are of men, of male physiques, of male,
Yeah, there's just so
male
much more
male
going on
architecture.
with the
Yeah,
male muscle definition and stuff like that. Yeah, that's true. But nah, okay. But it is interesting though because you would imagine there'd be ton of female sex symbols, and back in the day they were, but these days
yes.
there's hardly any. But
Well,
Scarlett
it's
in
all
her heyday
because
was that though. In her heyday, she
a
was
lot
that.
of it is because of social media. You can just get online right now and find absolutely gorgeous women that are half naked or even naked,
And
and they're
way
just giving
prettier
that
than
away.
Hollywood. Isn't that
Oh,
interesting?
way prettier than Hollywood.
Anyway,
But the problem with those girls is they're pretty much all prostitutes, and I don't mean that in any kind of whimsical way. I mean literally. Rich guys will send them money and flights, and they come and have sex with them. They're prostitutes.
yeah,
So you can't win nowadays. You can't win if they're pretty enough to have a big social media following. They're whores.
right.
Just to warn y'all, if you had enough money, she'd sleep with you.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of women are like that, and that's one of the problems. However, just what I'm looking at, she hadn't done a lot of movies, only 29. But just what I'm looking at right here, just complete disaster. Um, Game of
Yep.
Thrones, of course, a very successful thing. But like I said, she's definitely one of the weakest parts of that, the weakest part, in my opinion. Absolute bomb. Um, don't never heard of it. Never heard of it.
Wow, Genesis was that long ago. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, a long time ago, and she was god awful. She's such a bad actress in that movie. In this, I mean, she's not even in this movie. Why the hell is this here? Literally, she's a passerby. Jesus. Um, she's in an episode. Look, it's not much. She's not doing much until we get to Game of Thrones. So solo, absolute disaster. So she's in two big disasters and then somehow she got put in Game of Thrones because this is all failure, just garbage, right? And then, of course, she gets in the Game of Thrones. And let's see here. Don't know this. Don't know this. Um, I didn't even know she was in that. Oh, that's a theater thing. Okay. Um, Yeah, that was an absolute disaster. Yeah, so I mean, she's just not good, dude. She's in a lot of lost money here, a lot of failures. The only thing that she's in that really hit was Game of Thrones, and we know right well it's not because of her, right? Um, and
Well,
you know,
I think she's a case of a couple of things being true at once. I think that one, um, she's probably not the type of girl who says no to shit. Like it just seems like if somebody offers her a part, she takes it.
yeah,
Um,
well, yeah, maybe. And honestly, she's making
but
money. I just wish she shut her damn mouth. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
well, I was gonna say she probably because it seems like too many of them just like even though they say, "Oh, my opinions are my own," it's like bullshit. And you're literally reading from a script because you're saying the exact same shit. Because
They are. That's true.
another another thing that's also true is that she's not talented enough to make you forget that you're watching a bad movie. Like
True.
she doesn't have the looks or that kind of personality where you could forget that you're watching a shitty movie. Like,
Yeah.
Burt Reynolds had some stinkers in his day, but it was still Burt Reynolds, and if he was on the screen, you watched him,
He's got to bring
like you
something.
enjoyed.
Yeah. He's got to bring something. Yeah. That's true.
Like Nick
Yeah.
Cage. Nick Cage has been in some wolf movies, but it's Nick Cage, and when he's on, you know,
It's golden.
he can make you forget that the rest of the movie sucked because you're watching him and what he does.
True.
She's not that kind of an actress,
Yeah. And there are some others like
but
that. Like I've enjoyed Emily Blunt in several things. There are actresses that can do the same. We're just not her. Um, and like if you go back and look at Game of Thrones, where you have because most of the Game of Thrones, she's not in it, right? She shows up here or there occasionally. Mostly it's about what's happening in Westeros, not Easteros, right? And when she does show up, because the directors know right well her weakness, they could see it, right? So what they always did was make sure there was some other good actors around her in the scenes. And when we started seeing more and more of her in later seasons, it was always pretty much always Tyrion. And if you look at all the scenes that are cool scenes with her in it, who's doing almost all the talking? It's Tyrion, right? And they knew this. They did this on purpose because they realized she couldn't carry it. And they threw this really good actor in there to help her out because he's constantly speaking over her or for her. If you pay attention, constantly, right? And that character, you would think because that's a deranged psychopath, is Daenerys Targaryen. The Targaryens are kind of fucked in the head. They're insane. That's the whole point. And that character, if it was done by a strong actress like the one who did Cersei, she was spectacular, right? That lady, right? Many of the ladies were great in Game of Thrones. But if you're playing Daenerys Stormborn correctly, Tyrion butting in and interrupting her, she would have him flayed and killed instantly for
Right.
daring
yeah,
to step out of his place. But they couldn't do that because they needed someone to carry it. This girl, every time I've seen her, it's a disaster. In the Game of Thrones, every time she came on screen, it was so cringe. It was like, oh my god, dude. She couldn't even do a set. She had what, one sex scene? She couldn't even do that right. I mean, Jesus Christ, dude.
Maybe she's just bad in bed.
And well, she
Very good.
bitched about it in her contract. She was supposed to be had a certain amount of nude scene, naked, sex scenes she was supposed to do, and she just bitched constantly, constantly about it, and they basically capitulated to her. Um, and I kind of get it from her point of view, I suppose, because it's like a lot of guys are showing their ass as well. But one of the things that I didn't have any problem with at all is because there is one scene early where we see her where she's with her brother, and he wants to see if she's good enough to try to sell to Drogo, right?
Yeah.
And she's standing up in the bathtub, completely naked, disrobed, and I'm like, yeah, you can put it back on. So whatever. Anyway, so there's another one, and then shall we get another female here? See what's going on here.
Oh, who do we got? Who is it? Oh boy, yeah, yeah. Is what was it? What was her name?
Ellen,
Her name?
Ellen.
Ellen Page playing Achilles in Nolan's The Odyssey. Now I heard this isn't true.
Well,
That's what I heard,
here's
but I don't know if
here
it's true or not.
here's the thing, and that's what this article is looking at. If it's not true, then why is not Nolan stepping forward and saying no, 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 no? Because it's getting so much negative traction for his movie. Now, I
Yep.
understand that Hollywood has this idea that all publicity is good publicity, which is not true. That has been proven
No.
100% not true. And
Yep.
the amount of memes knocking on Ellen Page is hilarious. They're hilarious and they're kind of mean spirited, to be fair. But this is a person who needs to be in a mental hospital. This girl needs help, and no one's helping her, right? They're
Right.
just letting her, a flag in the wind. But if she's not playing Achilles, then
Yeah.
and Nolan would have come out by now and said, "Whoa, whoa, 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 she's playing Pericles or something," which would make more sense, right?
Right.
Or something like that. He would have already done that. He would have done some damage control. Because if you look with the Nyong'o Takamahanaha, that lady, Lupita, right? They've been doing all manner of damage control with her, and of course it's backfired because she can't shut her damn mouth. But they've been trying to do damage control with her, right? And
Right.
failing miserably. So if there were any truth that this is not Achilles, he would have been out in front of it already because he's getting hammered, dude. He's getting hammered. Do you know how pissed the Greeks are right now? An entire country is screaming at you, dumbass.
They're not happy. They are
They're
not
and nor
thrilled.
should they be, because they're being disrespected, right? And that
Yes.
Lupita idiot coming out and saying the shit she did. I mean, not only is she an incredible hypocrite, but just dumb. And you could tell that when she was talking, she was on a talking point. So someone told her to say that, right?
Yep.
But nevertheless, they've been trying to get in front of all the bad press, but they've said nothing about this. So if this is true and she is not playing Achilles, then why wouldn't you try to get in front of that? So I don't believe it. I think she is Achilles, and it's the most irritating and stupid thing. It's probably why he's not mentioning, because it's probably a bit part. It's a little piece. She's only going to show up probably twice in the movie.
Right.
Yeah, no, this is bullshit, right? That's my opinion. What do you think, Grimlock?
They're putting that shim as as Achilles. You know they are.
They are.
Because again, we've talked about how this is Nolan chasing an Oscar, and since the Oscars has this diversity checklist, I think he's diving into that shit both feet.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, this movie's DOA. The moment this cast
It
was
is.
announced, this movie dead,
And the trailer
and
didn't help.
people have already seen this kind of shit where the movie lives and dies with the cast. And you just saw it last year with Fantastic Four. Um, they're probably gonna give him the Oscar for basically shitting on his own legacy and making a checklist
Oh, I'm sure.
and
Oh, guarantee it.
to
Put money
that
on
I'm
that.
like hoping for everybody. Um, it's gonna be funny because I'm wondering. I can't wait till it gets close enough of the box office projections for this to come out because
It's going to
they're not going to be
turn.
able to hide it.
Yeah, this is actually starting to get into international news. So it might well do very poorly internationally as well. Because you keep in mind, Americans, we make a lot of noise about everything. We're kind of noisy people, right?
Yeah,
And
we
you
love
know,
the bitch.
we do. And things, domestic box office, which is the most important, but it can fluctuate based on our bitching. But internationally, it tends not to have much effect because they're not part of the conversation. But this one's becoming part of the conversation. So I think they're in big, big, big trouble. And just by the way, I've been trying to ignore it. Maple Chic has been incredibly racist today, but he just wants you to know, Grimlock, that he doesn't wear cotton out of pure respect for you.
I respect that. He is out there in his Canadian birthday suit,
He is. Yeah, yeah. Good for you.
giving giving Habib an eyeful.
That's right. Got to get them Habibs. But Canada's so busted up, dude. I would feel bad for your Maple, but you guys voted for it, so suck it. You know.
Well, you know another thing that you mentioned that it's kind of weird because of like the ebb and flow of it over the last 20 years is ethnic and national pride.
Yeah.
And me personally being a half breed, I've never been big into it because it's like it's coincidental that I came out the way that I came out. If anybody's proud, I hope it's my parents because they was fucking. Um,
Sure.
but a lot of people, especially people in, I guess you could say, white or whiter nations, have been told for the last 20 years that they should feel ashamed of it that happened that had nothing to do with them. And all of these people should be glad that, we're rewriting history to reflect a world that they really don't live in and they don't care for because some white women in America thought it should be that. Because that's what a lot of this is really coming down to.
Sure. No, that's true. Now, what I initially thought when I saw the trailer before the whole Achilles thing started, to be fair, was I thought that they were going to have her play Patroclus, right? Because this lady who the version he's going with of the translation, this lady Emily, right? It's all about gaying everything up to the nth degree and yada yada yada, right? And feminism and all that kind of nonsense. She's open about it. She wanted to destroy it. That's her intention. But a lot of kind of claims on Patroclus have been over the years of leaning toward this was one of Achilles' lovers. Um, but the thing is, you have to understand if you've ever read the Iliad or the Odyssey, the Iliad particularly, nowhere in there does Homer aspire or even hint at any idea that Patroclus and Achilles are lovers. Anywhere. This is
Yeah.
modern Hollywood interpretations, and she's going to take it to nth degree. Now, Homer does not bring that in. They're just friends, childhood companions, friends, right?
Right.
But of
Not with
course
these
he's upset when
ignorants.
he dies because it's his friend. They grew up together. And a lot of movies they make him too young. They're basically the same age, right? And it's just Achilles is a way better fighter than he is. But Homer never insinuated this ever. But they're going to push it, and that's what I thought that they were going to do with Paige here was make her Patroclus and make her have some scene where they're having some romantic interlude between her and Achilles, right?
Yeah.
To try to gay it up.
Well, another thing, especially regarding Paige, are they just going to admit that this person ruined their career the moment they got that surgery? Because most people, when I hear them talk about Paige, most people just feel sorry for it.
Yeah, it's a sad thing. And she went and got her tits cut off, but it's like, dude, you didn't have much to begin with. You should just kept them. I mean, there weren't much there. I mean, why'd you go to because she wanted to have that picture with the scars, those chest scars. I don't know why they're so proud of those chest scars, but they are. But
Well,
Because they're
anyway,
mocking God. That's why.
maybe could be that simple. But whatever it is, I don't believe it. I think she is playing Achilles because otherwise they get in front of it. like they have everything else, and they're not a word has been said actually. Now he might be trying to be clever and it's like, hey, 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 wait till they see it's not those chuds or what do they call us?
Well, how did that work out when
Yeah.
everybody guessed that Lupita was going to be Helen of Troy?
Yeah, but they try to get in front of that and explain it, right?
Yeah, I
But
mean, they tried to, but everybody had already, like, the moment her name even came up, it's like, it's kind of like back when, Marvel, the rumors first started coming out about Pedro Pascal, and they're like, yeah, they're going to make that faggot Mr. Fantastic, aren't they?
they did.
Because
And they
you
did
could
it.
see, they're so, these people are like, they're not as smart as they think they are. They're very predictable. And the moment you see these things, it's like, oh yeah, that's you know how you say, your first instinct is usually correct. It they don't even put any kind of doubt into it. Elliot is definitely fucking Achilles because Achilles was what he was seen as an ideal man for thousands of years, and what have
Yep.
they been doing that we have been talking about going on 10 years now? They've taken the ideals and they're just bastardizing them and collecting scalps. Well, here's another scalp. And what better way to do that than put a mentally ill woman who cut up her own tits in a role to where she plays the ideal man?
Right. I mean, it's an intentional insult because that's what they like. And Pedro is in a lot of hot water right now because not only has he had a lot of those accusations about his touchiness that they tried to explain away, that he's just nervous and he kind of grabby in that way, like okay. But there is accusations coming in out now of him doing or being inappropriate around what we all know are young men, not women,
Yeah,
right?
and you know why they're coming out now and not before when they actually happened. Everybody should know why this is coming out now because this is his what third consecutive bomb.
Yeah. Yep.
After I've been hearing it because for some reason there's a lot of people who was defending this and saying, "Oh, he's such a great actor. He's such a great actor." No, he's not. He's kind of like Amelia Clark, but I think Amelia is a bit more likable than he is.
I'd say he's a better
Where
actor, though.
is he?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think so. I think he is just a case of kind of like her. He doesn't say no to shit. He got popular because
Yeah, that is true.
he got popular because he was in franchises. Name one fucking thing that he's been in that wasn't a big franchise where it's like, oh man, he was great. He made that.
No, he's not great. No, you're right. But I
He's
think
he, he's he's just a guy like in franchise shit, just like Clark is, except that her shit. He got the luck of the draw for a while. He was making the better picks.
hmm well, yeah, I mean, I agree with you. She's more likable than him, but I still think he's a better actor. But to be fair, his best role I've seen him in was Mandalorian, and he hardly speaks, and he's not even the guy on the screen. He's another guy
Yeah,
in the outfit,
but think of it. His best role was the one that he says the least amount of shit,
and you don't see him
where the stunt
because
where
the
the
per
stunt double was doing the heavy lift.
well, yeah, and the stunt double or the person in the costume is doing more than just wearing the costume. The way they move, their body language. This is acting, right?
Yeah,
And like for instance, someone like Vin Diesel, right? He's good at doing those. Jim Carrey is the master of it, right? Um, but being in that costume, there's a lot of acting going on, and that's not Pedro at all. But that first two seasons is certainly the best pseudo Pedro stuff to be true. But nevertheless, we're kind of off base here. But we have this controversy, and then of course now read this one. Is Thunder asleep again?
No, boy.
Oh, good. Read this.
Supergirl now faces feminist backlash over Millie Alcock comments.
I knew there was going to be some all cock in here. I thought it was going to be this past article. Chester decided to wait on me. He's like, I'm making him wait. That son of a bitch.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm building up. But now we know this girl came out and said a bunch of dumb shit, just like Ellen Page has said, Emily Clark has said. I don't know about this Corin lady, but all of them have made dumb statements. She came out and has made multiple dumb statements. The worst of which, it's all Christian dad's fault and men are horrible. That kind of stuff. Genius, right? Who's going to come pay money for your superhero movie? I wonder. But nevertheless, now she's pissed off the feminists,
So,
which is wonderful, because basically what she said was, because they were asking her about Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, and all these other female superhero things, and she said, I haven't seen them, but I expect they probably weren't very good. Wow.
oh boy.
Now the feminists are pissed at her. You should support your fellow women. And the reason, we know she's an idiot. She's a stupid kid. She just dumb. Oh, God, she's so ugly, dude. Shocking. Shocking. This is sinfully ugly too. But one of the things we know about the current woman thing, and it's been going on for a long time, and I find it very interesting. It's always about support women, 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 instead of support actors or support, just outside of movies in politics, Americans or this or that. It's always women, 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 women. It's always support the fellow women. We have to be women together. We have to stand as a united front. Women, 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 women. They never talk about just the thing, in this case acting, right? It's always women, 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 right? And it's been going a long time, but it's kind of it's got to an extreme annoyance now, hasn't it?
Yes, and nobody likes it. Women don't want to hear about it anymore. Men obviously don't want to hear about it, but we never did. They won't fucking stop. These people have bought in hook, line, sinker to this religion, because that's what it is, and they just can't help themselves. They cannot help themselves.
Yeah. Well, read these two paragraphs right here, real quick. They're incredibly telling. I mean, she said that Black Widow, they were asked about Black Widow, Captain America, Wonder Woman. She said she hadn't watched any of these movies, and they're probably not great, which instantly you're really pissing people off. But read these two paragraphs right here, right, real quick, right here.
Randolph said Alcock should have studied the women who came before her, including Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, to see what worked and what failed. How those characters connect with audience. Support your fellow ladies, Randolph said, adding that Alcock should have framed herself as honored to follow in the footsteps of Wonder Woman, Black Widow, and Captain Marvel, instead of admitting she had not watched them. Because no women watched them. Because these aren't for women. You dumb fucks.
No. But
sure, there's some women out there who did. Like my niece, really, for some reason, she really likes that new Superman movie. Cool. Glad she liked it.
yeah, sure.
But she's 17, so she doesn't know better yet. But she will.
No. People
But regardless,
like what they want to like. Yeah.
But regardless, my point is outlier, not the norm. Girls typically don't like superhero stuff very much, except for like Batman and really it's Batman. He's the main one, and his universe is the one that women seem to gravitate to the most. So this nonsense is just nonsense. Of course she didn't watch those. She's a normal girl. Now, granted, once she got the job, she should have done her job and went and watched some of that stuff.
Maybe.
But she didn't,
or
clearly.
Comics or something, right?
Yeah, well, even the movies would be something. Right? Like, most of the movies are within 50, 60% of accurate. It'd be better than zero.
Sure.
Sure. And that's the problem. You mentioned it earlier. These women, these actresses, none of them are professional. Well, I shouldn't say none of them. Most of them are professional. The one who's the most professional mentioned here is Gail. Sure, she can't act, but she damn well tries.
Yeah,
she puts her best foot in it.
She does.
And she gets out there and does her research. by all accounts, and she seems like just a genuinely pleasant person.
Yeah,
Pleasant, just
Yeah.
nice to be around.
yeah, and she's thirsty
But
too.
if
You know
anything,
that.
Well, she does love
Anything-
her some hot guys, but I can't hate her for that. I can't be mad at her. Have you seen her husband? He's pretty ugly.
she's a bit easy to bully. That's my knock on old gal. But other than that,
She's a female. Most of them are.
Well, let's look at what he just read, though, right? Let's start from the bottom up, right? So, Grace Randolph, who we know is just an insufferable wokey feminist, but nevertheless, what is she doing? She's saying, first off, she should lie. Lie. Okay. All right.
That's right.
yeah,
Lie
Grace take your own advice.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Grace take your own advice.
Yeah, right. But okay, lie. Support your fellow ladies. How about supporting your fellow actors? How about that? Why does it have to be only the women, right? And you know, the analysis part is fine, but it's like study the women who came before you. Why not study the actors who came before you? Right?
Yes.
Why not go
All
look
of them.
at if you want to play Supergirl, why don't you go watch the original Supergirl movie? Or why don't you go watch Christopher Reeves? Right? Why is it
Mhm.
only the girl that you should be paying attention to? Only the females, right? And this whole article is full of shit like this, right? It's just
Yep.
be a liar and only support women and only study women. Okay, good job.
Sounds like the most modern woman thing I've ever heard. Just lie about it. Oh, all right. Well, there's this interesting thing that the feminists have gotten away with, and they've gotten away with it entirely because even the quote-unquote manosphere guys will say it with a straight face like it's acceptable, where women are supposed to be treated as if they do not have the ability to be moral creatures. That's preposterous and disgusting.
I know it is
to me.
disgusting, yeah.
You absolutely can be held accountable. You absolutely must tell the truth. I personally believe that one day we're going to stand before our Creator, and I promise you, on that day, you're going to tell the truth. 100%. So you better learn to do it now.
Yep.
Stop telling women it's okay to lie to get what they want. That is disgusting and immoral behavior in every society that's ever existed that mattered. The truth was paramount. It wasn't just something you did because you felt like it. It was the point of everything.
Yeah.
And the fact that we've become a society that thinks it's okay for half of us to just lie about everything, never, it's fine, just lie, it's no big deal. Doesn't matter. Oh, you cheated on your husband, just don't tell him, it's fine. All of that, the fact that that's the way society is structured for the female species of our species is disgusting.
It is.
There's only one solution to it, and we have to start shaming all liars at a level we've never seen in the West or haven't seen for a very long time.
We need
Lying has to stop. Industrial lying is what we're dealing with now. Industrial level.
I saw just the other day, my wife was watching those things, and because she's disgusted by it, right?
Yeah.
But it's like watching a rubbernecking a car crash, right?
Train wreck. Yeah.
But you have this lady, right? She is married and pregnant. I think he should question if it's his or not, but she's pregnant, and at the same time she's doing that, she's having an affair with 3 other guys. And when he calls her out on it, she says, "Well, I was going through a lot." And of course, the comments are full of women that are like, "Oh, fuck that guy. He had done nothing but support. He works all the time. He supports his family. He's got a baby coming. He's excited about it, but she's out there whoring it up, and that's okay, right?" But anyway, that's a different conversation. Grimlock, read these 3 paragraphs, but because this shit, man, go ahead.
Let's see. Randolph also criticized the way Supergirl is being presented. She questioned the first promotional image of Alcock holding the Supergirl comic, wondering if Alcock really read it. Spoiler, she didn't. Or just being used as a prop. Randolph called that concerning.
Stop.
She also said that
Stop.
All right.
Let's take it one at a time. So Randolph here a guttural, feminist, is shocked that a promotional ad is
Promotion.
promotional. Go ahead.
She also said the movie is not serving Supergirl well visually, bringing up Daisy Ridley and Kelly Marie Tran from Star Wars as examples of actresses who, in her view, were not always presented the way they should have been. Um, when we said that, we was called sexist. Am I missing something here?
No, I mean, and this next paragraph kind of continues. Just read the next paragraph as well.
Randolph said Alcock has a full hair and makeup team and should look really fabulous, especially because Supergirl has always looked fabulous in the comics. Ironically, part of Millie Alcock's Supergirl promotion is promoting a makeup brand. Wah, wah, wah.
Right. Now, so all right, Miss Randolph, you are looks shaming a female, which of course we know that's the women that do that all the time anyway. It's not men. I mean, we do like, she's pretty or not pretty, depending on what they're presenting to us, right? But here we go. This lady is basically saying she looks like shit. Okay, I agree, but I thought you were a feminist and women sticking together, and she's blaming the makeup team for not making her look better. But I mean, that's a hard thing, dude. Look, I mean, look at this picture.
Look,
That's a
look on
lot of
all.
work to pretty that up, man. Huh?
She looks like the Geico caveman.
Yeah, she does. She's just an ugly girl, and it's not. It is what it is. It's not her fault, but
I
that's a
mean, you
lot
go
of work to
compare her.
pretty that up.
You compare her to the girl who was in the Supergirl movie in the '80s. It's not even close.
Not even close. Now, also, the thing is, we know that Hollywood for a long time now has intentionally been putting ugly girls in front of us,
That's
right?
right.
Yeah.
They've intentionally do that, and she doesn't mention this aspect, but she clearly doesn't like it. Now, she's also bringing up Daisy Ridley and Kelly Marie Tran. Now, Daisy Ridley um, was chosen because she looks like a 12-year-old boy. They strapped
That's
that girl's tits down, boy, hard as they could. Hard as they could, they strapped her down. They didn't want her to be pretty. So what are you talking about? They also did the same thing to Tran. Now she's not the prettiest girl, but they made her fat. She's not
They
fat.
went out of their way to make her look ugly.
Uh-huh.
I think Disney went above and beyond to make her look ugly because
And they succeeded. So it's like, what are you bitching about now, Grace? What are you on about? Right? This is the movement that you are part of, is it not?
Yep.
Right? And she's praising how Gal Gadot looked as Wonder Woman. Yeah, because it's Gal Gadot. She's a
because
hottie.
Gal is fucking beautiful, like natural beauty.
But Grace is also one to talk because she gets on in front of a fucking camera looking like she just stuck a fork in an electrical outlet. I mean,
that's a choice though. But
yes, but if you're gonna say that, and you get on front and you get a camera looking like that,
yeah,
Grace, I'd be a little quiet. Like
now,
granted, I'm not a looker my damn self, but I'm not on camera telling other people
that you are
how they should look when I'm
That's the issue. Yeah, that's the issue. You're promoting something as one thing it's not. Now, in the movie, this girl says that she hardly ever has a suit on at all. And Randolph doesn't like that because she feels that if she doesn't have the suit on and she just this random thing, it's just going to be seen as girl power. No shit.
Yeah,
right? No
that's
shit.
the whole point of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever. But she doesn't think this is an accurate adaptation of the comic. She's not happy with it, and it's everybody else's fault other than this girl, right? Which, in some ways, she's not wrong. And this
she's just doing her job.
Yeah, she's just doing her job. This movie's gonna bomb so hard, dude, because people are just sick and tired of it. You never know. Let me hold that judgment because if it comes out and people are like, it's fun, it might be okay, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I just James, man, he had such an opportunity to do this right, especially Supergirl. She should be a layup. She should. Especially when you stop and think first. I'm not saying he should have got her, but when you stop and think about for about 5 years how big of a deal Sydney Sweeney was, and it's kind of waned a little bit here in the last
Sure.
year or so. But it was because, yeah, the tits, obviously. It
Well,
was
that's
also
another
because
another girl that
it
just
was
gets
also
naked, dude.
because well, it was also that's not why she was popular. It's also because she was bright, right? She had an energy about her that was welcoming, right? And she wasn't afraid of the fact that she was a woman with big tits. She was perfectly fine with it. In fact, quite happy to be it. And because of that energy that she exuded, she made herself into a big deal, and she rode that wave as long as she could. She's still riding it for the most part, but they go out here, they go out of their way, Gunn goes out of his way to find the most miserable version of Supergirl he can, quite literally, and then decides, that's my movie. No! If you had went out there, and James can do, characters that are like warm and wholesome. He can do it. We've seen him do
We've
it.
seen him do it. Yeah.
So it would have been it could have been great. He could have made this movie fairly cheaply. He didn't have to go big budget space opera bullshit or whatever he's trying to do with this movie. And he could have had her just be that ray of golden sun that Supergirl should be at her best, and just be that's the juxtaposition between her and her cousin. Her cousin isn't. I mean, he's not miserable or anything, but he's not her. She's the type of person who lights up a room. That's who
Well,
she should be.
and keep in mind when she came out of her pod, she was delayed because of the asteroid collision,
Right.
and she was way late because her job
Right.
was she was sent to raise Cal. She was his
Right.
babysitter anyway on Krypton, and when she showed up, she was ready to do her job. She didn't know, and she was a
Exactly.
bright, bit of very bright and light. Now, over time, they really did just grime her up, right? And
Yes.
I think the reason they did that was because they had so much success with Mary Marvel in that incredibly dark arc of Mary, one of the best in comic book history, actually. We did a whole special on it here if you want to watch that. But they wanted to kind of copy that, and it just didn't work because it was forced.
No, they should have went the other way. She should have been Mary's counterpoint.
They
It
could have
would have
done
worked
that, but they
better.
did do that. No, they made
Would have
her.
worked a lot better. If
They
so,
did.
like say you had Mary and Darkseid and whatever doing their thing. Superman and Darkseid, that's really his main enemy, his real one. She would have been perfect because obviously of course she's going to go help her. She's going to go help Cal. Like duh,
Yeah.
it'd have been perfect. You could have set that up, had the two chicks battling, they're relatively equal. Could have been great. But my point is,
Yeah.
when they've done that, and you're right, they have. They've dulled her. They've dulled her brightness a lot over the years, and that was a big mistake. I think all of superheroes being dulled was a big mistake. Superman's been dulled. He's barely anything of what he used to be, even now. Was a huge mistake through the 80s and 90s, especially is when they really started to do that, and they've never recovered. The entire subculture has never recovered because it lost the magic that it had. Because part of the magic was these characters were supposed to be beacon, especially the Kryptonians were supposed to be beacons of a better tomorrow. That's the point. They're better than us. They're supposed to be better than us.
But they always
That's
went
the
dark in
point.
it, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give it a good example. The Disney, DC animated has always been pretty good. But
Yeah.
there's one that came out here somewhat recently where it's about Kara landing on Earth and Clark finding her, and she's new to the powers, and she didn't have control over them, and she's causing a bit of damage, and Clark's trying to help her. The Amazonians show up with Batman to attack Superman and Supergirl, and to force Clark to let the Amazonians take her and train her because she needs training because Clark's inept and incapable, right? And of
Yeah.
course, normally Kal-El would never accept such a thing, but in this one, of course, he does. And then later he goes to visit to see how she's doing, and she's training with the Amazonians. And of course, instantly, what did they do? She's a lesbian. instant.
Yeah, of course they did.
Fuckers.
Yes.
Absolute fuckers, dude.
Yeah.
But that's what they do. Gay it all up.
Yeah.
But
It's
you know,
preposterous.
it is.
And she's one of those characters who could have what the DCU could have been. The opposite to Marvel, where Marvel tried to make it not adult, but a little bit more mature, which Marvel is, right? More grounded, more human stories. DC didn't need to be any of that. DC should have been the opposite of that. If you're gonna make a DCU, and I've been saying this for years, it needs to be epic in scope. It doesn't need to start that way, but it needs to be very, very, very obvious. That's where we're going. That's where we're going. This is step one into a much bigger world. Marvel did it to some degree with Thanos, but with the tiny little breadcrumbs they would give him, leading up to his eventual, amazing arrival. DC should have done the same thing, but it should have done it in a more aspirational way. I think Superman obviously was the right one to start with. The problem is like I said, Gunn can't write him. And I knew he couldn't write him.
No.
Because he's not hard to write, but you cannot be a callous degenerate
Cynical.
and write Superman well.
You know
it's
what
just
Gunn might
not
be
going to
good
happen.
at? Noir.
Probably. He'd probably be great at that, actually.
Yeah.
This one should have been easy, Gunn. This one should have been easy. Supergirl's not complicated. She's real simple. She's even easier than Clark because there's less weight on her shoulders than on Superman's shoulders, right? He's carrying the weight of the whole universe, but definitely the planet. She doesn't have all that. She's not looked up to like that. She's not, she doesn't have this leadership role as the guy or whatever. So you can do something a lot lighter with her, a lot more just fun. It didn't have to be this down and she's in the dumps and she's depressed and nothing's exciting because I'm so powerful. That's so boring. It's been done to death. 1,000 times we've done this story. I hate James Gunn. I really do. I hope the worst for James Gunn. Can he get ball cancer for me, please? Just for me. Can somebody give him some testicular cancer? Jesus. That'd be great. He doesn't have to die from it. Can he just lose one testicle? That's all I'm saying. Just one. Is that too much? All right. Is that too much to ask?
This channel does not promote all the views presented. Anyway, I'm getting on my time, so let me do this real quick. Backrooms. Once again, we talked about it. Indie thing. YouTube
Look at it
creator. Go. Bang, dude.
Look at it go.
In the pocket. This costs pennies to make, right?
The budget I've heard is $10 million.
Yeah, just they're way in their pockets, dude. Way in their pockets.
Oh yeah.
And good for them for that.
And look, it's not even in every theater in the country either. That's crazy work.
Yeah. So you got that. You got Obsession, which we were talking about earlier as well. Another YouTube creator.
Boom.
This is what 70 million in the pocket. And
more than that.
Costs less than the other one.
From what I understand, the budget was under $1 million for this movie.
Yes. Yeah.
That's first of all, that's a crazy cheap budget. Even in any time in the last 20 years, that's pretty good for a broad release film. And again, look at the widest release. It's still about half the theaters in the country, a little over half. Yeah. So they got plenty of ramp here, plenty of runway left.
Another Blumhouse success. Just killer, right? Let's see here with the Mandalorian. All right. Now, to be fair, it's 120 million. It's not enough, but this doesn't need as much as other films, though. But I bet you they're still needing like 300 million all in, though. So this is going to lose some money, but it is better than I thought. I thought this would drop off more than it did. So, not as bad.
But when you think about the fact that this is a Star Wars movie, and it's struggling to hit it, honestly, let's say before the sequels come out, right? Or even in the middle of them. Let's say right after the first one. That comes out, they would have done that in one weekend.
Yeah. No.
That would have been one weekend.
In perspective, it's not great. But it's better than I thought. And to be fair, it's the first Star Wars movie in 7 years. Right?
They have utterly killed Star Wars.
They have.
Everything that we said George did, they did much. Look at that. Look at that juggernaut. He's still the man. Got to give it to Michael Jackson. I mean, the man's been dead for what, 15 years? How long has he been dead? He's been dead a while.
Yeah, wow.
And look at him. Just his name, because that's really all this is. Just his name drew almost $1 billion at the box office.
Yep.
When everybody else is struggling to get there.
Honestly, Lionsgate needs that injection right there, dude.
Yeah, it's a nice fat injection of life for them.
Yeah, it is.
I'm gonna say what Star Wars is doing right now is even worse than because the fucking Mandalorian. Great that I didn't watch it, but at least the first 2 seasons, it was one of the few hits that Disney had with the Star Wars franchise since they had taken over the Star Wars franchise. And at least the first 2 seasons of it was generally well received. The fact that they couldn't follow up one of their hits and send it to the big screen and get a movie it can't beat 2 YouTube created movies.
Right.
That's pathetic. I don't even think begins to describe the state of Star Wars.
It's not good. It's not good. That's true. This movie, Breadwinner, is exactly what we expect. A supermom lands a Shark Tank deal, switching roles with her breadwinner husband. He struggles to adapt as a stay-at-home dad to their 3 daughters. Are you kidding me? He's a breadwinner, meaning he's at a good job. It's easy to be a stay-at-home dad. That's easy shit, comparatively.
Yeah.
They really make that shit sound like making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and turning on Bluey is the hardest shit in the world.
They do. Now, I mean, I'm not going to take away moms do a lot and they're important. They are. But if you take a guy who's in a real serious job and working hard, or even a woman, and you throw them in as a stay-at-home mom, dude, that's a freaking vacation.
It's true, but it's like, I'm thinking, okay, you have a family. In a normal situation, you love the people in your family, right?
Sure.
So you're really going to sit here and make the argument in front of God and everybody that preparing some sandwiches and ironing some clothes for people you love is more difficult than going out into the world, dealing with a bunch of strangers and their fucking personalities and the fucking restrictions that come with that. Or sometimes having to work with people you flat out fucking hate. And you're telling me that's less difficult than making food and cleaning clothes for people you're supposed to love?
No, it's not. And of course, they're going to make him an idiot. He's going to be completely bumbling fool, right? Which in reality, we've seen many examples that if you take a guy, like a hardworking dude, and throw him into where he's got to, take care of the house and stuff like that, they actually do it way more efficiently, right? Now, there are guys who are just bums, but that's not what the premise says. He is the breadwinner, meaning he was out there in it, getting it done, right? So,
Yep.
But whatever, typical bullshit. This movie is a war movie about weather. Shocking. Didn't make much money.
They just make anything nowadays,
I
huh?
know,
They just throw it on that damn screen.
I have to say, I'm surprised with this Hugh Jackman thing. It's creeping along and it's making money, dude.
Well, and it's going to be on Amazon for it's an Amazon movie, so it'll be there forever.
Sure.
So they made their money. That's one of the other good things about streaming is a lot of these movies aren't being made. That fell off hard. Not being made to make big box office gains. The box office is more like get back money for them. The streaming's where the money's going to come in at, or where they're getting the money from that is already funded. Like Amazon's MGM is all funded by Amazon Prime, so they've already made that. All that's just gravy to them, right? The money's coming in from a different source.
I am going to see this movie this weekend, though. So
that's a shame, though, that Mortal Kombat fell off that hard, all the way down to 10th. That's a shame.
This isn't going to.
But they put it out.
It got close.
They put it out at the wrong time. They should have put it out last year. They postponed it for some reason, If they had just put it out last October, I think they would have done better. I think they fucked themselves.
I think they should have waited till Memorial Day weekend. There was no reason to put it out that early.
Yeah.
Well, right. If they're going to wait, put it out on a holiday. Put it out on a weekend that makes sense. Don't just put it out in the middle of nowhere. What are you doing?
Documentary, I guess, or something like that. And last one here. It's only one theater though. During a business trip to Geneva, Lena's impulsive decision leads to perilous consequences. Back in Buenos Aires, she tries to bury her secret, but the dark past she left behind resurfaces to threaten her current life. She had an affair. Yeah, she had an affair.
What a surprise.
What a surprise. And this is one of those movies that they put in one theater just so they can be thought of for award ceremonies. That's what they're doing, right? But anyway, there's that. Not a great year, dude. We haven't really had a lot of fun. To be fair, June and July and August are where the big summer stuff come. So hopefully the next few months will be better. There's been a couple of hits this year.
Oh, there's some fun. There's something we didn't get to. I know you're pressed for time. We'll save it for next week. There's some fun.
What?
We'll save it for next week.
Okay.
I'm just gonna laugh the whole week.
All right, fine. All right. Very good, guys. Grimlock, you got something to say to everybody?
We're already halfway through the year. Crazy to think, ain't it?
Yeah. Time flies.
It's going by pretty quick, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Thundero, take us out of here, man.
I am gonna do Chester's favorite one because it's easy and it's true. The master is not the one who completes his training. The master is the one who never stops.
Namaste. Later, everybody.